Yo, G, bless him, bless him, bless him, bless him, bless him. Yo, G, Yo, G, bless him, bless him, bless him, bless him.
All right. It looks like we back. Looks like we got that format right. Appreciate you saying something, Bass. Appreciate you. All right. Let's give everybody a couple of minutes. Looks like we got the format back right. We'll give everybody a couple of minutes and then we're going to get right back into that interview. I think it was getting pretty good. They were basically asking Jerry Jones, I mean, hey, man, you know, Kalishaw. Hey, man, you know, you've been the GM all this time and everything is still failing, Jerry. Most general managers will be fired, but you know what? Jerry's a real nice guy. Jerry's a real nice guy. Because some people would have said, well, some people would have said, well, I ain't most GMs. Some people would have said, I'm not most GMs. Yeah, Jerry's in a very unique situation. It's the blessing and the curse. But Jerry's in a very unique situation. He's the owner and the GM. He can't fire, I mean, he can fire himself, but who gonna fire himself? A lot of people ain't gonna fire themselves. I mean, we watched Michael Jordan do it for years, man. We watched Michael Jordan just years. Couldn't get the Hornets over the hump. He finally sold them. I don't think Jerry going that route. Jerry ain't going that route. Jerry dug in. Jerry said, I'm getting me a bowl game in this thing before I'm out of here. That's what he's saying. Yeah, hey, Brandon, I'm telling you, Jerry gave a very humble response. Queen, what's going on? El Chuco, Chris Dunaway. Man, glad to see everybody's getting back in. Let's give it a couple more minutes, man. We had a problem with the stream. Good to see everybody. Get back on track here. Bass said he too old. But hey, Bass, we talked about this before. I don't think Jerry's making the decisions, though. I don't think he's making all of the decisions. I think he's a part of the decisions. I don't think he's making all of the decisions. I think they have put this coalition together. Jerry has put this coalition together, which is something that he should have did way long time ago. Jerry's got Brian Schottenheimer. He's put together a bunch of people around him now that he trusts. And now, after 31 years, they're finally doing the things that we wish they would have done years ago. So I think that's what we're seeing with Jerry. I think that's what we're seeing. And I think that's one of the reasons why we even got some of the results as far as the squad that we got now. I believe Freddie Morales has made a pretty good point, whether we realize it or not. Shotty, even though he did start out with more than Jimmy Johnson. I mean, first year as head coach. 7-9-1. Top 5 offense. The only thing that failed him is the defense. I mean, there was some shortcomings, red zone and dumb penalties and things of that nature. But for the most part, Brian Schottenheimer, man, hey, 7-9-1 on the first go-round. What will he do on the second go-round? Year number 2. That's why we're listening to this press conference. Year number 2. I think Jerry's doing a really good job. And sometimes we got to understand, doing a really good job sometimes is really just comprised of letting other people do their job. That's what a really good job is. Just let other people do their job. If you let other people do their job, you'd be surprised sometimes at some of the success that you will have in just letting other people do their job. This is why you'll notice, and Jerry knows this, and Jerry's been treating this thing a little bit differently than he probably treats his business other than football. I guarantee you Jerry Jones didn't get to where he is without having people around him smarter than him. You don't succeed in business without having people around you smarter than you. That's actually the key to success. You put the smartest people you can get in the room around you. If you're the smartest person in the room in your business is probably a failure. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, these guys don't become millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires by being the smartest people in the room. They put the smartest people in the world in the room. And they say, hey, you're smarter than me. This is what I want to do. How can I do what I want to do? How can you help me achieve it? That's what the smartest people do. That's what successful people do. And so Jerry Jones, hey, I give him credit. He's finally, it took long enough. It took long enough. But I think we're finally getting some progress with Jerry. All right. Let's get back into this press conference. Appreciate everybody rolling in. Everybody's rolling in. Appreciate everybody rolling in. All right. Let's get back into this press conference. Yeah, man. A lot of people don't realize that. My sister Niecy is in the chat. What is going on? What's going on, Niecy? All right, let's go back and then I'm gonna get back into this. Into this chat. Or you can get back into this video. Frank Lawrence said A+ grade on offseason. Hold your thought, Frank. Hold your thought, Frank, until you hear what ESPN said. Hold your thought. Yeah, Big Dub said it ain't on Jerry. It's the nepotism. Yeah, and Jerry, I'm thankful that he's finally saying he's got to put people around him other than, I guess, his children or whoever else. Jerry Betts said Rome wasn't built in a day. Still got to strip out the old and install the new. That takes time to do, y'all, no matter what. Cleaning and changing the mindset and mentality of people and a team is a process. Yeah, I've been talking about that today. As a matter of fact, Jeremy Betts, on my Bible podcast, I was talking about how, Peter is reminding the church in 2 Peter that they have a divine nature that comes from God. And it's one thing to tell people they have divine nature, but it's another thing for those people who have the divine nature to act upon it. And for some people, man, it's a process. They never live by their divine nature. It's a process. But the Cowboys are getting there. They're getting there. So I'm liking in the direction that they're going. They're not done. And that's the part that I'm happy with. They're not done. So we just got to let them keep going. All right. So let's finish up on this press conference real quick. All right, Brian Schottenheimer.
Number one is a champion. And number two is someone that created one of the greatest cultures professional sports has ever seen.
Edwarder.
This was a powerful answer by Shotty. And Shotty answered this question, man. And Shotty is doing what he said. Let's see if we can go up a little bit.
Well, how do you want to be remembered?
James Slater asked Brian Schottenheimer, how does he want to be remembered as the Dallas Cowboys coach? And I love the answer that Shotty gave.
When you leave the Dallas Cowboys one day?
Number one is a champion. And number two is someone that created one of the greatest cultures professional sports has ever seen.
Yeah. That part right there. How do you want to be remembered? As a champion and someone who built the greatest culture in football. So let's think about what he just said. In order to win a championship, you first must create one of the greatest cultures in football. See, that's what a lot of people don't understand. The championship doesn't come before the culture change. The culture change comes, and then you get the Super Bowl. Now, a lot of people, because some people are not old enough and some people don't remember. But Jimmy won Super Bowls, because he first changed the culture. He changed the culture. He changed the personnel. He changed out the coaches. And all of that equated into changing the culture. You had to change it from a losing mentality. You had to you turn it away from just being America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and just living on that. Jimmy had to get back that winning culture that was once there that Tom Landry implemented. Jimmy was able to do it. Brian Schottenheimer, if we think about it, and this is why I keep going back to this kind of stuff. I don't remember people saying they were going to do what Brian Schottenheimer said and then doing everything they could do to accomplish it. And that's what I give Brian Schottenheimer credit for. And again, I tell all of us, I'm not so much concerned about you not trusting Jerry Jones. But one thing I can tell you about the man that you're looking at on the screen, Brian Schottenheimer can be trusted. He can be trusted. Brian Schottenheimer has proven he can be trusted. Absolutely. He's proven it. There's no getting around it. Everything that Schottenheimer said he was going to do in this press conference, he's doing it. He's doing it. You got to love it. He's doing it. He hasn't done it. He's doing it. And even Jerry Jones, everything that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones said in this press conference, whether we're realizing it or not, they're doing it. They're doing everything they said they were going to do in that press conference. Building a better roster, doing things differently, doing better in free agency, doing better in the draft. They've done it. Managing the cap better. Whether we realize it or not, they're doing it. They're doing it. And what I appreciate about everything that we're seeing, Dallas Cowboys Nation, they're not done. They're doing it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. There were times that we were saying we were hoping the Cowboys would do this, and we would be saying they're going to do this. But no, they're doing this time. They're doing everything they said they were going to do in this press conference, and they're not done. They're not done. I love that answer he gave James Slater. I love it.
Edward.
Mark, let me tell you something. I like the comment you just made. Mark, I love the comment you just made. Mark 1756 said, Cowboys will never go anywhere with Dak. Yeah, you're right. They're never going to go anywhere with Dak. But they're going to the Super Bowl with Dak Prescott, Brian Schottenheimer, those coaches, and the team that they put together. And your thinking and the way you phrase this has been the problem since Dak Prescott touched down in 2016. That's been the problem. We only go as far as Dak take us. That was some of the dumbest stuff that Jerry Jones was saying. Yeah, we're going as far as Dak take us. What? Who puts that pressure on their quarterback? What general manager, what team would put that pressure on their quarterback? No, we're not going as far as Dak Prescott takes us. We're going as far as this team goes. That's where we're going. We're going as far as this team goes. So Mark 1756, what you meant for evil and facetiousness, I'm going to turn it into good. You're right. We're not going anywhere with Dak only. We need a team. And that's what Jerry is building. We need a team. Jerry Best said we got to get out that hole in a 30-year grudge. Look what's been going on the last year and a half. We got to move forward at some point, please. We are changing it from the ground up. Yes, sir. Bass said, yeah, I need to see it come to fruition. Keep looking. It ain't changing. Keep looking. Yeah. And watch this. You keep saying you need to see it. Bass, you're watching it. See, we got to realize how championships are built. Bass, I forgot how old you are, but I'm sure you're younger than me. Bass, nobody saw the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl in 1992. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. Bass, I got news for you. We look back on that Herschel Walker trade now, we go, whoa, boy, that was the one that did it. When they made that trade, none of us was saying, whoa, that was the one that did it. Everybody was saying the Cowboys were stupid. Herschel Walker was the best player on the team. Why would they trade Herschel Walker? Nobody was saying that the Dallas Cowboys were making Super Bowl moves. And that's why I was explaining it last week. I got news for us. Super Bowl moves don't actually look like Super Bowl moves until you win the Super Bowl. And then everybody looks back in hindsight as 2020 and say, those were Super Bowl moves. Yeah, I'm old enough. Some folks talking, they're not old enough to know what I'm talking about through experience. Some people look back at the Cowboys from film and they look back from what they heard. Some people are way younger than me and some of us in this chat. But those of us who lived it, we know what it was. Nobody was saying that when the Cowboys got Alvin Harper, Super Bowl move. Nobody said when the Cowboys got Emmitt Smith, Super Bowl move. Nobody said when the Cowboys got Noah Turner, Super Bowl move. Nobody said that when the Cowboys got Charles Haley, Super Bowl move. People were not saying those things. Now, Charles Haley, people was like, wow, that's an incredible move. But people were not saying that the Cowboys are making Super Bowl moves. People were not talking like that. And that's why I'm always laughing at people who are talking about the Cowboys and what they're not doing right and blah, blah, blah. They would have been the same people back then. I promise you, they would have been the same people back then. Every move the Cowboys would have been making, they'd have been doing the same thing they do now. Complain about every move the Cowboys make. Niecy, how much you bet, Niecy? Niecy, do you remember when people were crying when the Cowboys traded Michael Parsons? Niecy, do you remember that? Niecy, how much do you think them same people who still kick, cry, and scream about trading Michael Parsons, Niecy, how much do you bet they would have been kicking, crying, and screaming about Herschel Walker? How do you trade the best player on your team? How you going somewhere trading the best player on your team? Jimmy Johnson don't know what he doing. Jerry Jones is stupid. Those people who say that today would have been saying it back then. Hindsight is 2020. Everybody can look back on the 1990, the 1989, 91, 90, and 91 Cowboys now and say, man, look at what the Cowboys did. You wouldn't have been saying that now. You know how I know? Because I'm looking at you now, and the Cowboys are doing some of the same similar things they did then, and people are saying, I don't think the Cowboys are making good moves. C+, C-. They would have been giving them the same grades then. They would have been giving them the same grades then. I'm excited about this team because I'm seeing the same thing they were doing in that time period. They are putting together a team. They are putting together a coaching staff. And I find it to be amazing. I'm equating the Christian Parker hiring. I'm equating that to the Norv Turner hiring. People don't understand. I don't think we would have talked I don't think we win the Super Bowl in 1992 without Norv Turner. I don't think we win it. I don't think we win it without Norv Turner. Norv Turner had to come in and fix Troy Aikman and that offense. Norv Turner had to come in and fix it. Without Norv Turner, people don't realize how pivotal that man was. Norv Turner was pivotal. Troy Aikman has already said this. When Norv Turner came in, oh, it changed. It changed. And guess what? We got Brian Schottenheimer, and now we got Christian Parker, and I'm not going to disrespect BT Jordan.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all say my name, put some respect on it.
I'm not going to forget BT Jordan. Bass, I can understand your apprehension. You're 33. I've lived it. I've lived it. And what I am watching, it looks exactly like what the Cowboys did back then. And I'm going to go out on the line. I'm going to go out on the limb. Freddie Rodriguez. Freddie Morales, you ready? I'm going to go out on a limb because I lived it. They are further in year 2, Freddie Morales. They are further in year 2 than Jimmy Johnson was in year 2. They are closer to a Super Bowl in year 2 than Jimmy Johnson was in year 2. Not because Brian Schottenheimer is better than Jimmy Johnson, but because Brian Schottenheimer started out with more talent than Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy, they needed a jolt. Because if they hadn't got a jolt from that Herschel Walker trade, it was probably going to take Jimmy another couple of years. And I got news for y'all. Y'all might not realize this, but y'all going to call me a prophet before it's over. And without this Michael Parsons trade that some of these people kicked, screamed, and cried about and still crying like Terrence Parsons, I promise y'all without this Michael Parsons trade, the Cowboys wouldn't be nowhere near as close as they are right now. They wouldn't be nowhere near as close.
You can't handle the truth.
I'm telling y'all. I am telling y'all. We just got to keep watching. Bass, I'm going to tell you something. You and people your age range, Bass, don't be impatient. I want you to make sure that you sit back and enjoy every moment of what you're seeing. Enjoy every single moment. Because when the Cowboys do what I'm telling you they are going to do, that they are going to win the Super Bowl either this year or next year, I want you to sit back and enjoy every last moment of it. Because when it happens, man, you're going to say, wow, it's true. That's what I was seeing. You watch what I tell you. Enjoy every minute of it. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all something. Some people love to ride the bandwagon. Some people love to ride the bandwagon. But I'm telling you something. When you see a true movement, there is nothing like being on the movement from the very beginning. The bandwagoners can't really appreciate it. See, the bandwagoners, when things go wrong, they gone from the bandwagon, they gone on to the next thing. But the people who are truly the fans, and they in it from the beginning to win it, it means so much more to them when they understand the process. Watch the process. Watch the process, man. I'm telling you, what we are seeing, Dallas Cowboy fans, I don't know if you realize it, but what we are seeing is incredible. We are literally watching the transformation of the Dallas Cowboys back to a championship team. We're watching it. Everything they're doing, it's going into the transformation of the championship. I'm telling y'all right now, man. I'm telling y'all right now, man, y'all better enjoy this. I'm telling you, I am about to enjoy, if God is willing, I'm about to enjoy 2026 and 2027 in ways that I did not enjoy 1991, 1992. I am going to enjoy it. Absolutely. I'm going to enjoy it. I am going to enjoy it. Gwen Bowden said, Mark a Cowboys fan when the Cowboys are winning. Don't nobody have time for the negative, Mark. You can go kick it right. Ooh-wee. Bass, I'm telling you, man. Sit back and enjoy it, bro. Man, you young, man. Sit back and enjoy it. Hey, let me tell you something, Bass. Do not advance your years being so worried about this stuff. Brother, we are watching something phenomenal. We are watching something phenomenal. It's like watching a baby take his first steps. We watching something phenomenal. Wordologist, appreciate you. Just want to contribute to the channel. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, wordologist. Wordologist, I'm telling folks, man. Man, I want y'all to enjoy it because a lot of us didn't enjoy it back then. We really didn't enjoy what we were watching. I mean, we didn't really realize what we were watching. Oh, no, we know what we're watching now. We know, hey, if you saw that team and you look at this team, man, I am telling y'all this second-year team for Schotty is way more advanced than that second-year team for Jimmy Johnson. It's way more advanced. I'm telling y'all, Schotty actually has the pieces. Schotty, where Jimmy in year number 2, I mean, what was Jimmy going to do? But when you, Schotty in year number 2, do y'all realize that Schotty, this defense, they are literally a Christian Parker getting this defense average away from competing for a championship. And if the Cowboys make a couple of moves, man, if the Cowboys mess around and get a Jordan Brooks, if the Cowboys mess around and just maybe they mess around and get somebody that just blows everybody's, man, I am telling you, Schotty is at that point in year 2 versus Jimmy where it took him to year 3. Man, boy, y'all better pay attention to what you're watching, man. Y'all better pay attention to what you're watching. Niecy said fans be fanning and fans love their guys. Yeah. Just, you know, people young. Man, I'm telling you, y'all gotta know what you're watching. You are watching the transformation of a team. We are watching the transformation of a team. We're watching all of it. All of it. Mike Hunt said a lot of them were too young to know what's going on. I'm telling you, I'm old enough. Mr. Ambassador said some people thought the Cowboys were making a mistake when they traded Herschel Walker. Didn't I say it, Mr. Ambassador? Mr. Ambassador, I'm telling you right now, the same folk who out here crying about Micah Parsons, they would have been crying about Herschel Walker. Oh, why did they trade Herschel Walker? The Cowboys are dumb. He's the best player on the team. There is no way they're going to win without Herschel Walker. Really? They're not going to win without Herschel Walker. I bet after Herschel Walker started seeing the Cowboys rack up them Super Bowls, he was like, why did they trade me? Dak fan for life. Appreciate that super chat. He said, I'm 57. He said, you're spitting 100% facts. He says, as long as we don't have any major injuries, that's the key. He said, I'm calling the NFC Championship the floor for this team. They can do it. If this defense can pull off some of the things that we think it can pull off, woo, man. Dak fan for life. Man, we're going to be in like Flynn, whoever that is. we going to be in like Flynn. Bass said, I went to the 96 Super Bowl with my mom and I was a baby, so I don't remember, so it don't count to me. I need to see it with my mature eyes. Keep watching. Jabril said, gee, I remember when we couldn't beat nobody, but the Redskins on Thanksgiving days. Look how far we have come. Man, I'm telling you, people thought the Cowboys were dumb. They thought the Cowboys were dumb for a lot of those moves they were making. They were like, oh, man, what are the Cowboys doing? This dude, Jimmy Johnson, he's a straight out of college coach. He don't know what he's doing. How'd that work out? Because I'm telling you right now, Troy Aikman wasn't taking us to the Super Bowl. A team with Troy Aikman on it was going to the Super Bowl. Troy Aikman wasn't taking us to the Super Bowl. He wasn't. Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, they were not taking us to the Super Bowl. But as a team, yeah, they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, as a team, they went to the Super Bowl. Jeremy Betts, it's it. The offense was already built. The defense just needs to catch up. That's it. And now they're about to telling y'all defense for to be at the top 15 by the end of the season. They'll be top 10. Bank it. Man, I'm going to tell you something. If that defense hit number 15, ooh, man. Mike Hunt said, I was there. He said, Jerry Jones' first public spot shows is right off Holland Park at Club Bar there. I forgot the name of it, and there were haters everywhere. Hey, Mike Hunt, I can remember. People couldn't stand Jerry Jones back then. They couldn't stand Jerry Jones. Demetrius said, gee, some of these comments are really unnecessary and uneducated. Who cares about MVP if you win a Super Bowl? Man, ain't nobody want no doggone MVP. Dak Prescott ain't caring about no MVP. Only thing Dak Prescott is caring about is Super Bowls right at this point. Because I'm going to tell you something. Go back and check and see how many MVPs of the league that Troy Aikman won. Go back and check. Go back and check and see how many MVPs of the league that Troy Aikman won. Go back and look. Go back and look. Watch what I tell you. Well, Dominique, you say it's okay to be impatient. No, I disagree. The Bible says, Dominique Pittman, be anxious for nothing. Because I'm going to tell you something, Dominique. If you're anxious for something, you're not going to enjoy life. You're not going to enjoy things if you're impatient. See, some people don't want the journey. This is why people are always looking at people at a certain point in their journey and they say, I want to be just like you. Yeah, the problem is they're not willing to do what you did to get there. They don't want to go through the hell that you had to go through to get there. People don't understand, man. You got to go through hell to get to heaven. The Bible teaches even that the road to heaven is paved with all kinds of trials and tribulations. Everybody wants heaven, but they don't want to go through hell. No, you have to be patient. You have to learn how to go through the journey. No, it's not. It's never okay to be impatient. Because when you are impatient, the only thing you're going to do is what impatient people do. Cry, complain, and live a bitter life and bring everybody down around you. No. Enjoy the journey. When you enjoy the journey, the success is better. Be patient in the journey. I don't understand people who, this is a part of this new generation. No patience. Everything now. Everything don't come now. Everything don't come when you want it. And this ain't about you, Dominique, but we got to stop teaching people how to fail. I've been talking about this in some of my teaching and counseling of people. We got to stop telling people how to fail. Impatience is a way to fail. Patience is how you succeed. There's a reason why the Bible says be anxious for nothing. Because people who are anxious for things, they make irrational decisions and they act a fool and they say things and do things that they should not be doing. That's what impatient people do. No, we ain't telling nobody it's okay to be impatient. It's never okay to be impatient. Whatever your cup is, that's your cup to drink. You drink your cup, you enjoy the journey, you go through it. Because when you get to the other side, so much more enjoyable. Problem is, Dominique, you keep saying you got to see, but you don't want to see. You want the end result. You don't get the end result. You're watching it now. You got to see it now. You got to see what somebody is doing. You got to watch the process of how people get to where they're getting. And this is the problem with people as it applies to people. This is the problem with people as it applies to success. This is the problem with people when it comes to so many things. They want the finished product. You're not getting the finished product. I got news for you. You're not getting the finished product. You're not going to get the finished product no matter what you do. No, football and life, they are almost one and the same. Even in football, Dominique, you don't get the finished product until the product is finished. You don't get to rush the process. You don't get to rush the product. I'm talking about football because what we're talking about in football applies to life because football is somebody's life too. This is our problem. No, you don't get to be impatient in anything because, Dominique, there is nothing you can do in your impatience that's going to help the Dallas Cowboys do nothing. No, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking life. It don't matter if you're impatient. You can't make the Dallas Cowboys win or lose a game with impatience. And football is life because the people who play it, they're living their life. And if you're watching football and you care so much about it, it's not just football. It is life. Everything you do, Dominique, everything you do is a part of your life, whether you like it or not. You can't compartmentalize this life, sir. I'm sorry to be the one to inform you of this. You should have been informed. You don't get to compartmentalize this life. No, everything you do, bro, I don't speak opinion. I may speak some opinions, but I tell you one thing I do know is facts when it comes to life. Because the word of God is life. I don't deal in people's opinions and feelings. And I'm not dealing in your opinions. I'm giving you facts because that's what the Bible tells us. Be anxious for nothing. Now you tell me what nothing means. Does that apply to life or just football? Be anxious for nothing. That includes everything. This is what's so wrong with some of the people in this, even in this Cowboys community. So doggone impatient about everything that they raise hell in the community about everything. And always building in excuses to fail. Well, I got news for you. I'm not that person. If you want excuses to fail, you've come to the wrong place. I give people reasons to succeed. I give people things to look forward to. I'm not interested in negative. I'm not interested. Well, Dominique, you're defeating your own self because if you knew what the Bible said, you would never tell any man, woman, or child who understands that it's okay to be impatient in any situation. Because if you know the Bible says, be anxious for nothing. What does nothing mean? With the exception of something that you say the exception of? Nah, brother, I'm sorry. That's my expertise. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. We don't tell people it's okay to be impatient. It's never okay to be impatient. It's never okay. Let's hear the rest of this press conference.
WFAA, back here in row 4 next to Kalishaw. Back with the Dak Prescott delegation. Brian, my question is, Dak's missed a large portion of 2 of the last 5 seasons with injuries. It's going to be, I think, 32 when the next season starts.
He's a young 32.
What's your vision? You talked about how important the quarterback is, all of you have in these kinds of decisions. What's your vision for him going forward?
I think when you talk about Dak, number one, I've had the best seat in the house for the past couple of years in terms of the first year 1 as a consultant, watching. Literally, I remember the first day I was in the building, he came up and introduced himself, said hello, and we were just talking, and people that we mutually respected, and we talked about that. But, you know, being around the last couple, years, my vision for him is he's one of the best. And through the coaching that he's going to get, through the hours and hours and hours of time that he and I will spend together, he's going to play elite level football, and he's going to lead us to championships.
Say it again, Brian Schottenheimer. Say it again. Say it again. Hey, he said he's going to win championships. He's going to win championships. Coaching matters. People don't realize this. This has been the problem with this team, including Dak Prescott. And if you don't believe me, what would Michael Jordan have been without Phil Jackson? What would Michael Jordan have been? What would Michael Jordan have been without Phil Jackson? What would he have been? What would Tom Brady been without Bill Belichick? Now, we saw Tom Brady on one hand. We saw Tom Brady win a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. But I can tell you what I saw with Bill Belichick. I saw multiple Super Bowls with Bill Belichick. What is Tom Brady without Bill Belichick early in his career? This is the part that people don't understand. Coaching matters. And this is why I'm even saying what I've been saying about even the Dallas Cowboys and what we're watching with them. We do not understand that everything the Cowboys are doing matters. And even in our own life, man, y'all can compartmentalize stuff if you want to, but everything you do in this life matters. Every decision you make in this life matters. How you view everything matters. I got news for you, because show me a person that's impatient about things, and I'll show you a person that's impatient about everything. Man, we do not understand how God teaches us so many lessons in the little things in life. It's the little things that teaches us so many things. And Shotty is saying something, and we're watching this come to fruition. Coaching matters. What have the Cowboys focused on for 2 years now? Coaching. They brought in Brian Schottenheimer, but that's not the only person they brought in. They brought in Clayton Adams. They brought in, Sarkisian. They have brought in so many great coaches. And then when they saw the flaw they made on defense, what did they do? They immediately fired who? Matt Eberflus. They brought in Christian Parker. They brought in Marcus Dixon. They brought in B.T. Jordan. They brought in these other coaches. Why? Because the Cowboys realized something, that no matter how much talent they get, if they don't have the coaching, it's not going to matter a hill of beans. It doesn't matter. You're not winning. I don't care who you get. You can line up Myles Garrett and Michael Parsons on the same team. You're not winning without good coaching. You're not doing it. And people don't realize the biggest drop-off of the Dallas Cowboys from the 90s has not been players. The biggest drop-off from the 90s has been coaching. It's absolutely been coaching. It's the biggest drop-off. Bottom line. Bottom line. I love something that you said, Greg DK. Too many people want to count time but don't want to make time count. Shotty isn't cutting any corners this offseason, and the results will lead to success, I guarantee it. See, this is the part that I'm talking about, Greg. See, people don't understand what faith is. See, people don't understand all these, because they caught up in people they've been listening to for years and all this hopium and all of these things. But faith is the evidence of things not seen. So hold on a second. We haven't seen the Super Bowl yet, right? But we're seeing the evidence of the thing that we haven't seen yet, the Super Bowl. What are we watching? The evidence. The evidence. Better draft, better free agency, better coaches, a better Jerry Jones. We're watching the evidence of the things that we want to see. And again, I'm telling you, this is why people, they don't succeed a lot of times in life. Because they're so impatient and they don't recognize that things are getting better because they want an immediate result. When things get better, you don't get an immediate result. You got to keep letting the thing keep doing what the thing is supposed to do. Because when it comes to fruition, you're going to succeed. You're absolutely going to succeed. So this is the part that I appreciate about what Brian Schottenheimer is doing. There's no corner cutting. Shotty ain't worried about what nobody's talking about. There is no corner cutting with Brian Schottenheimer. This man is doing everything he said he was going to do, and he's doing it. He's doing it. And I can appreciate every last minute of it. And I'll tell you this, even if Brian Schottenheimer doesn't do what I said that he's going to do, one thing I'll say is Brian Schottenheimer gave it all that he got. And I can't say that about a lot of coaches for the Dallas Cowboys. Shoot, Brian Schottenheimer is giving it all that he has. And that's all you can ask for. It's for a man to give all that he has. Brian Schottenheimer's putting everything he can into this, and I love it. And when I see a man putting everything he can into something like what he's doing, I love it. Because I'm telling you, we saying this is just football. This ain't just football. This is man's life right here. We're watching this man's life. We're watching these players' life play out in front of us. It's not just football. It's their life. And we want to be happy off their life. Are we understanding what I'm saying? We're watching men compete for our happiness. Because we're not happy that the Cowboys haven't won a championship in 31 years. Football is life too. It's life for them. It's life for us too. How many people go home on a Friday? How many people go to work on a Friday telling people, yeah, man, Cowboys playing this Sunday. We going to beat your team, blah, blah, blah. And then when the Cowboys lose, do you want to go back to work on Monday? Yeah, it ain't just life no more, is it? It's not just life no more, is it? Because when you go back to work on Monday, shoot, you better be prayed up when you go to work on Monday when the Cowboys don't win. Because you are about to get ridiculed out of your life. And if it's just football, why people get into disputes and arguments and fights when they go back to work when somebody start talking about the Cowboys? Shoot, tell me this is just life. Oh, this is just football? No, this is life, man. This is life. Everybody want the end result, but don't nobody want the journey. There will be blood. He said, we're seeing checks and balances throughout the organization from the top to the bottom. There will be blood. They're putting things in place to win. You got to love it. You got to appreciate it. Gerald Jackson said, coaching brings attention to details, understanding the rules and how to play the game. I remember when Bill Belichick understood the tuck rule and challenged that fumble. That's being prepared. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Freddie said, you don't take the steak off the grill when it's half cooked. You don't. Robert Dudley, it's coming together. People want quick fixes. Life, football, and building something good does not work that way. You need God first. You have to teach, man. You have to teach patience, man. Because I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm telling us. I don't know how anybody understands. I don't know. I can't. You like the truth? I don't know. But impatience, don't give a doggone how impatient you are. You can't change nothing with your impatience. The only thing you can change with your impatience is you. And in your impatience, you just make yourself worse. That's why I'm telling Bass, man, you better enjoy this and sit back and just watch this thing work. Don't lose years off your life. Don't use years off your life. If it's football, then it's just football. Then it don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But that's why I know it matters. Man, don't be losing years off your life worried about things like this. Let it play out. As long as the Cowboys are doing the things that are required to win, they're going to win. Demetrius Noel, he said, a man born of a woman in a few days, his life is full of trouble. Amen. Premature. Yeah. Rufus, the Texridian, good to see you again. He said when the Cowboys went 1-16, people were telling Jimmy, Welcome to the NFL. Who had the last laugh? Yes. Yeah. Just got to keep watching, man, and keep letting the process play out. I like what's going on so far. Mr. Get Dirty, that was my sermon this past week. But let your light so shine before men in the book of Matthew. Yeah, that was my sermon this past week. And my sermon was don't whine, just shine. Don't whine, just shine, man. Do all things without grumbling and complaining. Bad said, hold on a second. What's going on Summer Go Niners? I'm ready to see you. We're ready to see y'all this year. Can't wait. Can't wait. Gwen Bowden said, gee, a lot of people in this generation don't understand that patience is time and time is patience. Man. Yeah. Lynn said patience is a virtue in everything. Yeah. In everything. Yeah, so it's patience. Brandy said it's called debate. We are allowed to disagree. Yeah. But we also have to understand when we're hearing the truth, Brandy. I'm going to tell you about me, Brandy. I'm a truth teller. I'll be honest with you. I don't get down with all that we agree to disagree stuff. I'm giving you the truth to the best of my ability, knowledge of the word of God, and experience. And the Bible tells us be anxious for nothing. That includes football too. There will be blood. He said, Cowboys basically saying no more excuses. Now watch us put in the work and take that Lombardi trophy. There it is. There will be blood. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. Bottom line.
And that's because of the way he works, the way
Yeah.
he prepares. This guy prepares different.
Yeah.
And he does. He prepares different. This guy, I'll be coming down late at night and trying to get something to drink, and I just have to move around because my eyes are bugging out from watching video. And he's still in the building doing his, I guess it's hot, cold therapy, whatever that is. I don't do that. But we got the right guy. And working closely with him and these other players, we're going to win. And we're going to win a championship. Otherwise, why are we doing it?
Dak, you're sitting right behind Ed Werder there. Reach up there and squeeze him on his neck and show him what a little problem is with your health. Feels like.
Alrighty, we're out of time, and thank everybody.
Yeah, that's it, man. That was a great press conference. I wanted to go back and let you hear that. Because again, you know, people have to understand what hope is based on. See, when you go to the gas station, and I hope you're not gambling, but if you go to the gas station and you buy a lottery ticket, do you realize that that's actually not hope. Going to the gas station and buying a scratch-off ticket, I mean, you may say that, oh, well, I went and bought the scratch-off ticket because I got a faith in the evidence of things not seen. But in actuality, that's not real hope. Because what have you seen that made you believe that if you go to the gas station and buy a scratch-off thing, that there's a chance that you're going to scratch it off and be a multimillionaire and never work in your life again? No, that's called gambling. But when you think about what hope truly is from the biblical perspective, it's the evidence of things not seen. Meaning that there is something in place that you're watching that makes you say, I have faith in the end result because of the evidence of the thing that I have yet to see. And so that's why with the Cowboys, we are watching the process. Nobody thought 3 years ago the Seattle Seahawks were going to win the Super Bowl. But then when you go back and look in hindsight and you start looking at the draft, you start looking at the coaching change, you start looking at the culture change, you start looking at their free agency, you start looking at all the little things they did, it culminated into that Super Bowl. It culminated into that Super Bowl. Now, if hindsight's 2020, you go back and look now and you go, wow, I didn't realize that's what they were doing. Yeah, that's what they were doing. While everybody else was out there trying to say, we got this one player we're going to get and go to the Super Bowl, or this player or that player. And they said, no, we're just going to build a team. We're going to stay steady in our draft. We're going to stay steady in our free agency. We're going to bring in people that fits our system, and we're going to win. And that's what they did. Lynn said, I grew up in the late 70s, a Cowboys fan, and wishing the day they won the Super Bowl patience, and they won it in the 90s. He said, I was so happy that I cried. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, Lynn, if I'm not mistaken, I think the last Super Bowl that most of us saw the Cowboys play in was what, the 1978 Super Bowl? And they lost it. If I'm not mistaken, the last Super Bowl that we saw the Dallas Cowboys, they lost. Freddie said, I still remember the playoff game. The boys lost to the Rams at Texas Stadium on a Starbuck interception. Went to school the following Monday wearing a Starbuck jersey. Man, he said, you want to talk about being dogged. Yeah, man. Man, let me tell you something. It's the same way. It's the same way when people go to work, man. Boy, you be talking about the Cowboys on Friday. Man, you go to work and the Cowboys lose. Shoot, you better be prayed up. You better be prayed up, man. You might lose your job on that Monday. Man, let me tell you something. I have known people that when the Cowboys would lose on a Sunday, man, I've known people to call in work on a Monday. I've seen it. I have seen it. Shoot, man, people be taking this stuff serious, man. They be taking this stuff serious. They be taking it serious. Bad said, I got faith, forget hope. Hope equals hold on pain's ending. Nah, bro. I you know what? That's a saying from Law Nation. But Bass, I love Law Nation, but I love God more. I believe in God, and I don't believe in them acronyms like that. Yep, shout out to Law Nation, but also shout out to God. Hope is the evidence of things not seen. The Bible is telling us something. Look at what's being built. I'm sorry. I love Law Nation. There's nothing against Law Nation, but I don't go by what man says. The Bible says we live by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. No, not by Law Nation, brother. I love Law Nation. Inspirational man. I mean, when it comes to the Cowboys. But when it comes to what true faith is, no, I go by what the word of God says and not by what men say. I take that serious. I don't mess around when it comes to stuff like that. Cowboy Mike, he said, people want that microwave lifestyle, man. Put that food in the oven and be patient. There it is, man. There it is. Yeah, man. There it is. I don't believe in that kind of talk. Bass, I'm sorry, brother. You about to make me do some Bible lessons in here, and I ain't got time for Bible lessons today. No, faith ain't greater than hope, brother. Faith and hope. Do you realize that hope is the evidence of things not seen? And then when you accomplish your hope, your faith has been fulfilled? Faith and hope are intertwined. You actually can't separate the two. Because if faith is the evidence of things not seen, then hope is also the evidence of things not seen. And that's what makes you live the way that you live. You cannot separate faith and hope, man. I guess in the world you want to say that you can. But if you want real word of God, brother, you can't. That don't match, bro. I'm sorry, Bass, that don't match, bro. How do you separate faith in God and hope? Because the hope is based on the promises of God. And if you believe in the promises of God, then you have faith in God because you are watching not only your own life, other people's life, and things that God is doing in the world. You're watching your faith play out based on the hope that you have in your faith. Your hope is based on your faith. Man, you can't separate hope and faith. What are we talking about here, man? What are we talking about? Oh my gosh, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, man? Boy. We can go by the teaching of man. Y'all can go by the teaching of man all you want to. I go by the word of God. You cannot separate faith and hope. That is, man. Boy, please don't get me going on the Bible today. That's that talk right there, man. That is the kind of talk to get me fired up. That is not sound teaching. That is not sound teaching. And I'm not knocking Law Nation. I know Law Nation is having fun. So I ain't knocking Law Nation. But I'm telling you right now, I don't care, Dominique, if you get what Bass is saying. What Bass is saying is not true. And I'm sorry, Dominique. You're defeating your own argument. You say you don't hope in football. Well, what's your problem then? Do you realize you're defeating your own argument every single time, Dominique? How do you not have hope in football? But then you say it's okay to be impatient because you want the Cowboys to win now. You want to see it now. What are you talking about? That's just circular reasoning. That's a straw man argument. If those things, if what you're saying is true, you don't have hope in football, at least that's what it sounds like you're saying. You don't have hope in football, then what are you talking about then? You wouldn't feel any type of way. You wouldn't even be making half the statements you make. What are we talking about, man? Boy, man. Dominique, you just told Bass not even a few moments ago it's okay to be impatient. You just told him that. What are you talking about? You just told him that. And your language itself shows that you're impatient. What are you talking about? Bro, your own words continue to just tell what you're saying. What are you talking about? Bro, I can't. I can't deal with that kind of talk. I can't deal with it. Nisa, you hit it right on the head. Every sport has hope. I can't. We say stuff and we're not hearing what we're saying. If this stuff didn't mean anything, we wouldn't be having half the conversation that we're having. We would just be sitting back and just looking and laughing. Man, I can't, man. This is crazy talk. I just can't. I can't with them kind of conversations. That's crazy talk. All right.
Here we go.
We're going to do a quick hit on the Akoye Media thing. Akoye Media, let me tell you something. Akoye Media has been cooking, man. Akoye Media has been absolutely cooking. Absolutely cooking. He has been cooking Terrence Parsons. And as a matter of fact, let me skip down to Terrence Parsons. And then we'll go over here to why Akoye Media. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. We'll go over here to why Akoye Media has been absolutely cooking Terrence Parsons. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Nah, bro. I'm sorry, Dominique. I'm not letting you get away with this stuff, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. Nah, bro, you be saying some stuff that's out of pocket when it comes to faith and hope and all those things. Nah, bro, you be out of pocket with that stuff. You be out of pocket with that stuff. And then you talk about, yeah, man, I don't really care, man. I don't have no hope in the Cowboys. Well, what's your problem then? I mean, what's the point? Why do you seem to be? Why would you even be a skeptic in something that you don't even believe? I mean, that doesn't even make sense. It's just a lot of circular talking and reasoning. Don't make sense. All right, let's keep going here. So let's go to this thing about Terrence Parsons. And I do believe that Terrence Parsons has actually accomplished what he wants. I'm not sure if this is all about Terrence Parsons trying to speak some actual facts. I think this may be more about Terrence Parsons doing some of the similar things that Michael Parsons used to do. Says here, never wanted to address the real problems. Michael Parsons' brother accuses the Cowboys of misusing the defensive end and takes shot at $32 million replacement. Now, again, I'm not really sure what Terrence Parsons his issue is, because as Cowboys Fan Talk is so eloquently pointed out, that it's amazing that Terrence Parsons is talking all this noise about Rashan Gary now, but he wasn't talking that noise about Rashan Gary when Michael Parsons first went there and Rashan Gary was playing so well. He wasn't talking all that noise then. He was talking about how good Rashan Gary is. But all of a sudden now, because Cowboys have Rashan Gary, Michael Parsons is at Green Bay, all of a sudden now he's trying to talk bad about Rashan Gary. But let me read this, and then I'm going to go back to the other point that Akoye Media made, that a lot of people aren't really not giving Akoye Media enough credit for. Because I'm telling you, man, Akoye Media said something that people really need to be gravitating towards. It says Michael Parsons doesn't have to say a word anymore. His brother is doing it for him. Terrence Parsons Jr. took to social media this week with a message aimed straight at the Dallas Cowboys and their newest edge rusher, and it wasn't exactly a welcome basket. The shot came just months after Dallas acquired Rashan Gary and agreed to a restructured 2-year, $32 million contract. Whether that deal ages well is exactly what Terrence seems to be questioning. And I'm laughing that he's talking about this deal aging well, because in the grand scheme of things, we've yet to see what Rashan Gary is. But I can tell you this, somewhere behind closed doors, the Green Bay Packers have to be crying. You paid Micah Parsons what you paid Michael Parsons only for him to be injured? And you not even get out of him what you intended to get? I'm telling y'all right now, the Green Bay Packers, they got Michael Parsons to win the Super Bowl last season. Because with losing Rashan Gary and some of the other pieces that they've lost, it will be more difficult for them to win the Super Bowl this year with Michael Parsons coming off injury than it was last year when Michael Parsons came in there fresh. So to say these things, and this just goes to let you know, this negative Cowboys talk, people love it so much. The media loves it so much. They love it because they want to capitalize on it. They want to capitalize on the negativity that comes from the Dallas Cowboys, especially in the past. But because there is no negativity coming from the Dallas Cowboys, people create their own narratives. And I've been noticing this offseason. People create their own narratives. They want to fight about this and create all their own narratives. And again, I don't understand why Terrence Parsons would even still be worried about the Dallas Cowboys. Your brother plays for the Green Bay Packers. Why not worry about the Green Bay Packers? But I think this article says something in the beginning that is so powerful. Michael Parsons doesn't have to say a word anymore. His brother is doing it for him. And I love what Akoye Media said. And his brother obviously likes it because he's not trying to stop him, nor is he disassociating himself with it in the court of public opinion. Yeah, Michael Parsons likes his name being tied to the Dallas Cowboys because it brings attention to him. And Terrence Parsons is trying to bring attention to himself. I don't even think he's necessarily trying to even sell this story as much as he wants attention from this story. Because Cowboys Fan Talk pointed it out. This is not the song he was singing before. So Terrence Parsons is just doing what people have continued to do in the past. It says, I'm just talking facts, bro. We all knew Michael Parsons was out of position, but he put in the work every offseason to be better at where he was lacking, while the team never wanted to address the real problems in the run defense, like get a defensive tackle and linebackers. He said, I don't hate Gary or take shots every week. He says, laughing my butt off, but we not going to pretend like he's something he not. I had the pleasure of watching that man all year and gave credit where it's due. Good run defender. He better be at 6'5", 280 pounds. But I also see him play lazy, jog all over the field and give up on plays. Can do that in the NFC East with he can't do that in the NFC East, I guess he said, with all the mobile quarterbacks. This is Terrence Parsons Jr. This is laughable. This is like new. And again, you start running your mouth, flapping your gums on stuff like this, and you don't bring any kind of film. And this is why Akoye Media has been destroying him, because one thing we know Akoye Media is going to do, I think we all pretty familiar with Akoye Media. Media fits his name. Akoye Media is going to go do the film work. And he gonna show you the plays. You ain't got to worry about it. He gonna show you multiple plays. Look at what Cowboys Fan Talk said. He said, you wild. He said, you wild defensive. He said, you wild defensive, laugh out loud take, a deep breath. Nobody saying Gary is better than your brother, but aspects of his game are better. Also, why you hate Gary so much? You take shots at him weekly. What did he do to you? Yeah. What did he do? What did he do? We haven't even seen this man with the Dallas Cowboys. But I can tell you what we did see. Akoye Media is right. Rashan Gary was on a tear until they started getting injured. He was on a tear until they started getting injured. And I think Rashan Gary is going to play a lot better in Dallas than people are giving him credit for. I believe Rashan Gary is going to be on a mission. And it's crazy to me. It's not actually as crazy to me that Terrence Parsons is tearing down Rashan Gary. What's crazy to me is that Michael Parsons is allowing him to tear down Rashan Gary. And somebody may say, oh, that's his brother. He don't have no control over his brother. Man, y'all, stop playing. Anybody who thinking this, please stop playing. Stop playing. Because I'm going to tell you something now. I guarantee you I'd have some control. I would have some control over my brother. I guarantee you, because how much you bet that Michael Parsons is giving his brother some money? How much y'all bet? How much y'all bet that Michael Parsons is giving his brother some money? I would tell him up front, okay, you want to make a living off YouTube? Well, you're going to make a living off YouTube. I'm going to disassociate myself with all of your comments, and I'm going to tell people I don't think like you, and I'm going to see how you fare out there in YouTube land. Let's see how much money you make on YouTube versus what I give you whenever. Man, you can control this man. Nisi, his brother should have kept his butt at linebacker. Yes, absolutely. He didn't want to go back to linebacker. Why? He wanted that edge rusher money. He wanted that edge rusher money. And everybody knows that he wanted it. He wanted that edge rusher money. That's why he didn't want to be listed as a linebacker. He wanted that edge rusher money. I'm going to tell you something else that I find to be powerful. Follow me on this. Dak Prescott's brother name. Ted Prescott. Isn't that Dak Prescott's brother name? Anybody remember Ted Prescott? Anybody remember Ted Prescott? If I'm not mistaken, I think Ted Prescott was actually thinking about, I guess, doing some podcast or being a podcaster. But has anybody noticed something about Dak Prescott? About Ted Prescott? Does anybody hear from Ted Prescott?
You can't handle the truth.
Does anybody hear from Ted Prescott? Anybody? When's the last time anybody heard from Ted Prescott? When's the last time anybody heard Ted Prescott? When's anybody heard Ted Prescott talking about players in the NFL? Anybody? When's the last time? Anybody heard Ted Prescott doing anything other than defending his brother? Anybody heard it? Anybody heard it? Anybody heard it? You want to know why you're not hearing it? You think it's just because of Ted Prescott? How much do you bet that Dak Prescott has told his brother the rules of engagement? You're my brother. Don't be out here in these YouTube streets talking crazy. Don't be out here in these YouTube streets talking crazy. Don't be out here talking about me. Don't be out here talking about my family business. Don't be out here talking about my football business. Don't be out here talking on my teammates. Don't be talking on my ex-teammates. Don't be talking about anybody out here in these social media streets. Why isn't Dak Prescott doing this? You think it's just because of Dak Prescott? I'm willing to bet you it's also because of Dak Prescott and the type of man that Dak Prescott is. Yes. The type of man that Dak Prescott is. Dak Prescott ain't having this nonsense. He's not having it. Let me tell you something. This is one of the very reasons why a lot of these athletes, they're having conversations with their family. They're having conversations. Man, you got to be careful. Because people will start associating your character with your family members. And people will start thinking that you're using your family members to say things that you really want to say, but you let your family members say it. And I got to, and I think Akoye Media is pointing out something. If you didn't feel like that, Michael Parsons, you would have been done stopped your brother. You would have been done stopped him, but you're not going to stop him. You're not going to stop him because you like what he's doing. Nisi said Tad spoke about Jerry and Dak's contract and Dak shut it down. Yeah, because Dak ain't having it. Dak ain't having that mess. Dak is saying something, bro, I'll pay you way more than YouTube could ever pay you. I'll pay you more than YouTube could ever pay you, bro. Don't be out here in these doggone streets talking crazy about me, players, the NFL. Have y'all not noticed this? It's very rarely, it's very rare when you get professional athletes who are paid all this money. You ever notice? You don't really hear a lot from these people. There is not enough money that can be paid on YouTube to these players, brothers, that their brothers don't take care of them. Because I'm telling you right now, man, I'm making the kind of money that Dak Prescott is making, and I'm sure Dak Prescott is well taking care of his brother. Shoot, I know I'm giving my brother and sister a meal ticket. Shoot, they can work for me, driving me around getting paid $1 million a year. Don't be out here selling me out, man. But you got to ask yourself, this is the point that Akoye Media made, that people aren't sticking to the way that they should. I already know Akoye Media going to do his business on the film work, but it's not the film work. It's the fact that he said that Terrence Parsons is out here talking crazy in these streets and his brother's not saying nothing. Says a lot about his brother. Shoot, I remember LeBron James even told his mama to shut up. And we know LeBron James likes the spotlight. Shoot, LeBron James said, you ain't out here dribbling these basketballs, dunking these basketballs, winning championships. You not out here doing this. Mama, you might have birthed me, but you ain't playing on the court. Shut it down, mama. And as a matter of fact, mama, I don't need you dating another NBA player again. You better not date another NBA player again, mama. And you don't be out here doing that kind of stuff. That's the biggest point that I'm taking from a lot of this. Where's Micah Parsons? Why isn't Micah Parsons saying something about this? Because I'm telling you right now. See, some of us say, yeah, man, he got his own life. Now, not when I'm a multimillionaire. Now, you don't have your own life when I'm a multimillionaire because you know doggone well you making money off me. Nah, bro, you know I'm giving you money. Nah, bro, you ain't, nah. You're not going to be out here in these streets talking. You're not going to be out here in these streets talking. And that is one of the reasons why you're not watching Dak Prescott out here acting a fool. No, you're not watching it. And even CeeDee Lamb, Mama Bass. When's the last time we heard from CeeDee Lamb, Mama? We don't think CeeDee Lamb shut that down? CeeDee Lamb shut that nonsense down. I promise you. CeeDee Lamb shut that down. And he didn't have to tell us he shut it down. He didn't have to tell us. The proof was in the pudding. Shut up, mama. I make the money, you don't. Shut up. I don't need you talking about my quarterback. Dak Prescott threw almost every pass to CeeDee Lamb that season. Talking about Dak Prescott isn't it. Well, how do you think CeeDee Lamb got paid, mama? I bet you CeeDee Lamb said, mama, no, I don't need you doing that talking. I don't need you doing that talking, mama. I don't need you doing it. Yeah, Bad said, I don't think Dak's paying his brother. I guarantee you he is. I guarantee you he is. I guarantee you. Guarantee he's paying his brother. I guarantee you he has him on the payroll doing something. Guarantee you he has him on the payroll doing something. Dak Prescott doesn't strike me as the type of person that's not taking care of his family. I guarantee you Dak Prescott's taking care of Dak Prescott in one way or another. Frank Lawrence said, I have to wonder how the Green Bay front office feels about the edge they paid $188 million out indefinitely with a severe knee and with mouth that never promotes the Packers. Man, you think he'd be talking about his team. You think his brother would be talking about his team only. Nope, can't keep the Dallas Cowboys out of the mouth. Why? Because you can't get that attention in Green Bay. Podcast, you know, it's amazing he's not podcasting no more. That podcast is worthless without being a Dallas Cowboy. It's worthless. I promise us it's worthless. And so again, man, that's the biggest takeaway. That's the biggest takeaway for me. The fact that he's out here running his mouth. And his brother ain't saying a word. Because I'm telling you, I'd be saying something. And I wouldn't have to say it in the streets. I'd be saying something. I absolutely would be saying something. Because a lot of these people, they're smart, man. They take care of their family one way or another. They find ways to take care of them. So let me show you something, Bass. Let me show you something. See, these guys all do this type of stuff. They're not dumb. They take care of their family because they don't want their family out here doing stupid stuff. Because I know you would do it. I would do it. I'd take care of my family. I absolutely would. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate my sons now into some of the stuff that I have going on. Let me show you something about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is not employed by his brother. Well, wait, let's read the rest. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Tad, his older brother, and primarily, look at this, handles the family's business, supports Dak's career, and assists with Dak's philanthropic efforts like the Faith Fight Finish Foundation. So how do we think he's living? How do we think he's living? These guys take care of their family, man, especially when they're making this kind of money like Dak Prescott. They take care of their family. They don't want their family out here. Man, who want their family out here living and scrounging and getting desperate, and then before you know it, they getting paid for some salacious story? Ain't nobody trying to do that. You put things together, you let your family head them up. It's what you do. It's what you do. It's smart. Take care of your family. Keep them out of this stuff. Because people will come, the devil will come at you through your family. People will come at you through your family. But Michael Parsons seems to love drama, so it's no problem for him that Terrence Parsons is doing all this stuff. And that's where I think Akoye Media hit him in the heart right there. I ain't even worried about all the other stuff. Shoot, Akoye Media hit that man in the heart. Headhunter said, he said at the end of one of his press conferences, he said, hey, Tad, we're going to have to start making the reporters raise hand. So either he's paying him or the Cowboys is. He said, why else would he be at the OTA press conference? Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they take care of their family, man. They take care of their family. You have to. You have to, man. Take care of your family. And, you know, sometimes we got to learn not to be prideful. Man, if your family is people, go out there and get it on your own. Man, stop it. Man, you a multi-millionaire? I'm not telling you to give your children money. Just teach them how to get money. Figure out ways to teach them how to get money and let them get money, even if it's through some of the things that you do. Man, come on. Come on, man. Frank Lawrence said, Green Bay so severely overpaid, even healthy, he's untradeable. Frank Lawrence, I'm going to tell you something. Strike one on year one. Strike one. Hallelujah, salute. Strike one on year one as it applies to Micah Parsons. Now we're going to see what year two do. And we don't know how he's going to look in year two. So we got strike one right now. We're going to see what year two looks like. What will it look like in year two? Man, people keep talking about Brian Schottenheimer got a lot to prove in year two. Shoot, what about Micah Parsons? See, he got the injury excuse in year one, but year two, when he come back, what we gonna say in year two? He didn't quite recover from year two. Year three, he should be pretty good. Man, let me show you something. This is absolutely crazy when y'all think about it in the grand scheme of things, when you think about this Micah Parsons situation. This Micah Parsons situation is crazy. I want you to think about this. Excuse me. I want y'all to think about this. This is what the Green Bay Packers did. It's a 4-year, $186 million deal. $123 million guaranteed at the signing and $136 million total guaranteed. $136 million. Do y'all realize that the Green Bay Packers are in an insane situation? Year one, scratch. Year two, what is he going to look like? Do y'all realize that in the grand scheme of things, he's going to actually miss an entire season and still get paid for that season? They may not see Micah Parsons, I mean the full Micah Parsons, until 2027 with 2 more years left on that deal. What will their team look like then? This is absolutely crazy work. Nobody wants to guarantee a player $136 million. And you don't even get him for one of those seasons. They don't even get to impact you during the playoffs. And now he's going to miss a huge part of the Green Bay Packers' first half of the season. Tough. And they've been saying he might not even make it back by the Cowboys game. And they're probably going to have to talk him out of it if he's not ready, because he's going to want to play the Cowboys game so bad. Man, Micah Parsons better sit his butt down somewhere. He better sit his butt down somewhere and get healthy and don't be thinking about all this personal stuff. Bass said, I feel like Terrence don't listen to his brother. Well, I bet you this. I don't know about you, Bass. I bet you I can make him listen. I bet you I can make him listen. Shoot, money talking bullcorn runs a marathon. I bet you I can make him stop talking. I bet you I can make him stop talking. He said, why is he being persecuted like he called out on all this smoke for cashing checks with his mouth, that his butt can't cash, didn't act surprised. Shoot, I bet you I could control him. How much you bet? How much you bet I can control my brother if I was making what Micah Parsons making? I bet you I could control him. I bet you I could control him. Because if I couldn't control him, you know I couldn't control him. Because all the stuff that he's doing out in the court of public opinion, and you know the moment Micah Parsons is talked to, they're going to ask him about it. Shoot, I mean, I'm denouncing all that nonsense. I'm denouncing all that nonsense. Moose said that's if he plays. Gee, I'm telling you, man, Micah dealing with some stuff. Micah dealing with some stuff. He dealing with some stuff bigger than the Cowboys. Marvin Mays said that's not an injury that's easy to come back from. He may never be the same. And Marvin Mays, because of the power, the strength, and the quickness that he plays with, Micah better get right. And if I'm the Green Bay Packers, bro, you getting right before we let you on that field. I don't care if we playing the Cowboys 3 times in a season. You're going to be right before you get back on that field. You're going to be right. Skoongi, he said, bro, he done. Man, you know what? I hope he not done. I hope he come back. I want Micah Parsons to do well, except when he plays the Dallas Cowboys. except when he plays the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm telling you right now, the Green Bay Packers got to be behind closed doors somewhere sick. They got to be sick somewhere behind closed doors. To know that you paid that money for this man. You paid this money. When do you cash in? When do you cash in? Man, that's tough. That's tough, man. Brandy says she's sick of Parsons and his sibling. She said he's sick of Parsons and his sibling. All right. Lonnie Cabal said Terrence Parsons probably feels like since he's the older brother, he can say whatever he wants. Well, I can tell you this. He wouldn't be saying whatever he wants as it applies to me. I promise you he wouldn't. Not me. Nah, you ain't gonna be talking like that. And I'm the one that's the football player, bro. You can be hard-headed as you want to, but you're gonna make your own money too. That's where I am if it's my brother. Yeah, you're gonna make your own money too, sir. You will be making your own money. You won't be making money off me. That's where I would be on that situation. But again, and this is one of the reasons why, Akoye Media, loyal Dallas Cowboy fan, shoe bag in the Akoye Media. Akoye Media has been going off. And I'm not even sure if I can play some of the stuff that Akoye Media has been saying. I don't know if I could play it. I know he's got a video up. Let me see if I can pull it up. But Akoye Media, shoot, man, I'm just telling you, man, Akoye Media. I told y'all the other day, I think Akoye Media does some kind of boxing stuff, and I think it's true. And I'm telling you now, man, he throws knockout punches on the film. He throws knockout punches on the film. And he throws knockout punches when he's talking about the film. Shoot, man. Let me show you something he posted today, Akoye Media posted today. He was posting some stuff about, this may be Malachi Lawrence, maybe? All right, so I'm gonna just show you the heading, and I'm gonna show you what's happening there. Akoye Media posted this. He said the other guy didn't do stuff like this with his teammates. Talking about Michael Parsons. Rashan Gary. Malachi Lawrence, I think it is. Jayshon Barham, all of them. He's out there working out with him. Yeah. I don't know what else to say on that. But man, Terrence Parsons done started war. He done started a war, and I don't think he can win it. I don't think he can win it. Jeremy Betts said, not being hateful or spiteful. He said, but I don't really know what he's going to be when he come back. He might never get where he was with his athleticism, speed, explosion, and burst. He may never get all the way back. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Oof. I don't wish that on him, though. Nope. Don't wish that on him. But, Akoye Media, shoot, man, Akoye. Man, let me show you something else, Akoye Media. Boy, shoot. Man, Akoye Media is going all the way in on this situation, man. Akoye Media going in. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull up a couple more things here, man. Akoye Media is not playing. You're not playing with this man. And again, I found it to be strange that Akoye Media is saying what he said. And you see people, they're talking about what Terrence Parsons said. Shoot, they ain't talking about, man, they ain't talking about what Akoye Media saying. Shoot, man, Akoye Media is blasting. He blasting, man.
We went and did like a soft opening for the bar. We had a little.
Why you ain't tell me?
Okay, this ain't it. Hold on a second. He's got a video saying that you know you done effed up now. Yeah, this is the one he put the other day, man. I ain't listened to it, but I'm pretty sure there's some expletives in here, man. I'm sure there's some expletives in here. We'll play a little bit of it. I'll put this link in the chat. Shoot, man, this man Akoye Media ain't playing.
Really, man, like, I understand you taking up for your brother. You can take up for your brother when somebody is attacking your brother, right? When you the one doing the attacking, you can't play victim after somebody says something back to you. That's the thing. Like, we can choose what we say. We can't choose what the consequence of what we say and do is. And you getting mad like somebody's just out here talking shit about you and your brother. You are the one talking shit. You're offering up shit talk back to yourself, right? So if you are vocally critical of a former teammate of your brother, like Rashan Gary, right? And not just critical, but like really hating. Like you be hating. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. Like talking like the man trash one. For real, as a defensive end, he's a better defensive end than your brother. Because to be a defensive end, you got to be able to stop the run. Your brother cannot do that. If all you can do is pass rush, you are a pass rush specialist. We done seen those in the league before, bruh. Robert Quinn was one of them. He got more sacks than your brother in a season. You know what I'm saying? But that don't make him better. Why? Because he's just a pass rush specialist to me. That's how I looked at him. And I look at your brother the same way. He's a pass rush specialist. He need the quarterback to get up on points so he can pin his ears back and do what he want to do. But when it's a even Steven game, he get ran through like a wet paper bag. And we've seen this before. I've shown it to you.
How many times have we talk about that on this channel? How many times have we talk about that on this channel? Nisi, you still in the chat? Nisi, how many times have we talk about this? How many times have we talk about how to stop Micah Parsons? Micah Parsons, yes, pass rush specialist. And I still say Micah Parsons could have been one of the best to ever do it at linebacker. I really believe it. I believe Micah Parsons could have been one of the best to ever do it at linebacker. But nope, want to play edge.
You on film, and I thought that you learned your lesson then because you stopped kind of talking so much then, but it's just crazy that you still keep going off saying, let's fuck around and find out. Bruh, listen, since we doing comparisons, right? Before we even get in there, you talk about bread. I ain't bring him no bread. You bringing up your brother money. I ain't bringing money. I'm cool on money. Your brother cool on money, and I'm pretty sure you, because of your brother, you cool on money.
What did I say? What did I say? Shoot. Come on, man. These dudes ain't making that kind of money. And they're not taking care of their family. They're taking care of their family. No matter how they do it, they're taking care of their family. Because we would. You better believe. I'm an only child. You better believe, though. Man, if I was a millionaire and I had brothers and sisters, man, shoot. Hey, as long as they act right, they ain't wanting for nothing. As long as they act right, they ain't wanting for nothing. I'm taking care of them. I'll start businesses. I don't care if I don't care what they doing. I'm going to make sure I take care of my family. What good does it do to be rich and your family poor? Man, this side of life is about sharing with the things that God is giving you. They are taking care of their family. And that's why, man, I'm agreeing with Akoye Media. Man, come on. Man, that's how I know. Micah Parsons, if he wanted to shut this down, he could shut this down.
We ain't talking about money. We talking about just character and him as a person and the things that I've seen him do. Like, we talking about him as a teammate. Bruh, you can't say he was a good teammate on a team where he got sued for sexually assaulting one of his teammates. You can't say that he a good teammate on that team. How? He was the biggest distraction on the team. You don't think that's a distraction? Then you got...
Wait a minute. Is he talking about Micah Parsons? Let me read this. Marcus Moncherio. Appreciate that super chat. Man, wait a minute, man. Is he talking about Micah Parsons? Marcus Moncherio said, yeah, he said, I'm huge on Gary this year. Despite all the shots he took, he doesn't respond. He just drops videos of him grinding and working on his craft. Meanwhile, last year we had Diggs fight AOC and deal. Yes, sir, Marcus Moncherio. What was that dude? What What was that other dude that Terrence Parsons? I mean, that Trayvon Diggs was fighting in the DMs. What was his name? What's his name? Bubba Dub. What's his name? Bubba Dub DC. You remember when Trayvon Diggs was fighting Bubba Dub? Yeah, we talking about character issues, man. Man, character matters. And this is why I keep telling us, man, boy, we be selling Jerry Jones out. And I don't think Jerry Jones' mind being sold out. But I'm gonna tell you something. People keep trying to say that Jerry Jones is the architect of Michael Parsons being gone from the Cowboys. Y'all keep on thinking that. Keep on thinking that Jerry Jones made that decision. I already showed y'all that one of the insiders, I think he's a scout for the Cowboys, or one of the insiders that works with the Cowboys, man, he already said it was Jerry Jones who wanted to pay Michael Parsons. It was everybody around Jerry that didn't want to pay Michael Parsons. Shoo. Man, I'm telling you. Shotty said he wants the best culture in football. You got to ask yourself. I'm going to let y'all answer the question. Can you have the best culture in football with Michael Parsons on your team? Can you have the best culture in football with Michael Parsons on your team? Because before Michael Parsons got to the Green Bay Packers, I could narrowly remember hearing anything from the Green Bay Packers other than the diva, Aaron Rodgers. Anybody else can tell me of anything else before Michael Parsons other than Aaron Rodgers? And we know Aaron Rodgers is a diva. After Aaron Rodgers, didn't hardly hear anything from the Green Bay Packers. Michael Parsons get to the Green Bay Packers. What do we hear? Michael Parsons and things around Michael Parsons. Akoye Media is hitting on something. He's talking about character, man. Character tells your brother to shut his mouth. So character does.
The Cowboys, while he was here, I mean,
Now, wait a minute. What is he talking about with the sued for sexual assault? Michael Parsons was sued for sexual assault? Hold on a second. Akoye Media dropping some stuff. I wasn't privy. And again, I don't really watch college football like that. Okay, hold on a second. Let me pull up. Let's see here. It's new to me. Is this new to y'all? I don't know. Is he talking about Michael Parsons? Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Oh, okay. Are y'all privy to this? Now, this is new to me, this part he brought up right here. This is new to me. Brandy, Parsons is a linebacker. I think he could have been one of the best to ever do it. I really do. I think he could have been one of the best to ever do it. I really do. Had he played linebacker, I believe he could have been one of the best to ever do it. I do. Rev said, talk to him, G. To this day, even with Mulugeta and Jerry Goofy. Man, I'm telling you, I don't think Jerry was the architect of this the way people thinks. But again, y'all tell me. This new to me. I didn't know this part. I didn't know this part because again, I don't talk. I mean, I don't really, pay attention to college football like this. This is new to me. Gerald Jackson, and Brandy said the same thing. She said she met Michael's dad. Well, Brandy said Gerald Jackson and Michael's dad is on that same type of time. But Gerald said that Michael's dad in Charlotte, he met his dad in Charlotte a few seasons ago, humble and down to earth. The mom and his brother, a different story. Okay. All right. Got you. All right. I'm checking on y'all. Okay, so Dominique, it was Bubba Dub. Yeah, it was Bubba Dub. Bubba Dub, boy. Oh, that's right. DC said, well, Cheeto. Wait a minute. All right, hold on a second. So this thing with Michael Parsons, I just looked it up and it's new. Yeah, Bass said Akoye is not an enemy that naysayer is an ally. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Akoye is one of them, man. I've liked a lot of things that Akoye Media said. I've always kind of listened to him. He does his homework. But again, man, this is new to me. Yeah, Demetrius Noel. See, this is new to me. I got it right here. And what it is, he was involved in some hazing allegations. And the issue is, it said the suit alleged that Parsons and other upperclassmen orchestrated a campaign of hazing against lowerclassmen, which included instances of sexual misconduct and physical harassment. Boy, let me tell y'all a story. So my son is playing high school football. And these young men on the high school football team, boy, they had me livid. And I was not playing this stuff. These young men were walking around on campus, humping on each other. They would walk up behind each other and just start humping each other and was laughing about it. Oh, no. I went off. I told him, nah, bro. We don't play that where I'm from. We ain't playing that mess. I went off. I told him how stupid it was. I don't give a doggone what they were. It's stupid. Not playing this mess. Walking around and humping each other thinking that's funny. What? Do it again. Do it again. Shoot, man, I'm telling you. These folks, man, these people, some of this stuff with this hazing, man, they take this stuff way too far. Way too far. Man, there are horror stories. This stuff doesn't just happen in college. It happens in high school. Man, there were some stories coming out, man, that in high school, over there in Austin, they were assaulting these young men and calling it hazing. I went off. There ain't no room for that for me. I don't give a doggone. Ain't no room for that. Shoot, I went off. Wish I would. Man, I saw some of them. Man, I went to a football game and they was doing that stuff. Shoot, boy. Man, I like to lost it in the stands. I like to lost it. Shoot, straight up told them. Not again. Bet not happen again. Bet not happen again. Dumb stuff. Former Penn State football player suing over campaign of hazing. Man, this is bad. I don't know how it is now, but it's bad. This is bad on some campuses. And it's one thing when you're having some fun, but man, these kids don't be, these kids be actually assaulting other kids. Be assaulting them. It's crazy work. How you gonna walk up behind another man and start humping?
Our darkest days in the battle against COVID
It's
are
absolutely
ahead of
crazy.
us.
So this is what this is brand new to me. I didn't know he was involved in this. Says Parsons was named as one of the players involved in the hazing. He was not the primary defendant being sued for monetary damages. The primary player named as a defendant in the lawsuit was Damian Barber. Outcome, investigations by Penn State Office of Sexual Misconduct. And isn't it ironic it was Penn State? Y'all remember how crazy that stuff was at Penn State? Shoot, man, I can't even use the laughing sound effect on that. That stuff that was going on in Penn State before him was crazy. It says, following investigations by Penn State's Office of Sexual Misconduct Prevention and Response and the local district attorney, no criminal charges were filed against any of the players, as the DA's office concluded the evidence didn't meet the threshold for prosecution. But the issue is, I wonder, did it go civil? I don't really know enough about it. I wonder if it went civil. But again, this is what Akoye Media is talking about. Man, this is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. Let me see. He was suspended for a game, declaring a comment on a disciplinary action, confidential matter. Yeah, I wonder what happened in the grand scheme of things. I don't know. But I can tell you this. Shoot. Man, y'all remember that dude in Belly when he was eating that banana? Said he gonna drop a dime? Shoot, Akoye Media dropped a dime, bro. Shoot. Akoye Media dropped a dime on that one. That's new to me.
People who know some of the coaches, I ain't gonna say everything I ain't supposed to say because, you know, the way you get information, obviously, you don't divulge information that was given to you in a privileged situation. But I will say I do know that he was skipping out on practice and bullshit. And then publicly, we all know that he was laying on the trainer table like he ain't want to even perform or support the team at that time, which was a big problem here. But team player was never anything that I think anybody will come out who's ever played with Micah Parsons and say he's a great teammate. I don't think so, bruh. Other than Diggs, and him and Diggs got the same kind of issues. You know what I'm saying? They cancers, both of them. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he wasn't a good teammate here. You talk about D-Law as if D-Law, wasn't, right. But D-Law left here and immediately won a Super Bowl. So what do that tell you? Obviously there's something wrong with the nucleus of the team that we had here before. And your brother was the center point of all of that, right? So I'm glad he's going. I think a lot of Cowboys fans are as well. But we didn't want to shit on or piss on Parsons on his way out the door. It was good luck to you. Do your thing over there. Let's see who won the trade, blah, blah. We'll talk from that standpoint. But to downing, I mean, if you want to down players, you can down Gary. You could do that. But I can show you him stopping the run down in, down out. And I can show you him getting 8 sacks a season, every season, with half the snaps of your brother. The season, matter of fact, since we talking about comparisons, right? The year that Rashan Gary came back from an ACL, MCL, and PCL tear, right? He only played 500 snaps that season. Still had 9 sacks that season off of only 500 snaps. Your brother had 864 snaps that season and only got 4 more sacks, 5 more sacks, 4 more.
You can't handle the truth.
Boy, Akoye. Man, I'm going to put this link in the description.
Exactly.
I'm going to let Akoye. Man, I'm gonna let y'all. I'll let y'all check this out, man. All I'm gonna tell you is, man, this man Akoye Media, boy. Tell you this, you ain't gotta worry about no arguments from me. You ain't gotta worry about no arguments from me in the future. You ain't gotta worry about it. If I do, I'm making sure when I come to Akoye Media, man, I'm gonna come with all. I gotta come with some serious receipts on this man. I gotta come with some serious receipts. Boy, this man told this man limb from limb. Man, I wouldn't be saying a word after what this. My gosh, Niecy said Akoye in this film study inspired. I love his breakdown. Shoot. Yeah, I've seen some of them, Niecy. Man, I'm telling y'all, I done told y'all, Akoye Media messes around with that boxing stuff. And this man, Brandy said it, you go low, Akoye Media, he go to hell. Yeah, he go to facts. That's where he go. Shoot, Akoye Media believe in throwing knockout punches. That's all I can tell us on that one, man. That man be throwing knockout blows. God. That man throwing knockout blows. Shoot. Leave this man alone. Leave this man alone. Leave him alone. Anybody who come at him, I'm telling you, you better be coming correct. All right. Let's look at this little quick hit from Rashan Gary and what I have on Rashan Gary. It's not, anything major. Only thing I want to show you about Rashan Gary is like what somebody just said. No matter how much they talk about Rashan Gary, I just want you to see what Rashan Gary is about. This is all he does. It's all he does right here. Every time somebody talk noise, this is Rashan Gary. He just go to work. He focused on football. He just go to work. That's all he's doing. Over and over and over. All Rashan Gary is doing is going to work. And he gonna take all that aggression, all that noise talking. He gonna do it on the field. This is Rashan Gary. I can appreciate it. He about that work. He about that business. And that's exactly what you want to be. You ain't got time for all that other stuff, man. All that other stuff is just chit chatter. That's just chit chatter, man. Just chit chatter. Go to work. Go to work. That's all he doing. Go to work. Yes, sir. Preacher's curl, man. Let me tell you something. You ever done those before? Shoot, you know what your biceps made of when you do a couple of them. Get up there and think you're gonna throw 50 pounds on there. Shoot, you better go to 5 pounds. That's some serious work right there, boy. Go to work, Rashan Gary. Man, let them talkers talk. Yeah, hey, Brandy, that's how you get, going bare feet outside on real grass, it helps you out health-wise. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Got a lot of senses in our feet. Shoot, wrap some onions around your feet when you go to bed tonight. I'm telling you right now. Man, it's a lot of health. It's a lot of healing that come through the feet. I remember when I was a kid, I keep telling folks I don't remember getting sick a lot. I actually don't remember getting sick. Because when I was young, man, we'd be out there barefoot all the time in the summertime. Bare feet, dirt, mud, grass. Never got sick. Never got sick. Jeremy Betts, he said leadership and maturity. Leadership and maturity and being a good leader and working his butt off. That'll influence the younger guys. Why you need a mature veteran? Dude, getting ready, get that work in. What I'm saying, look. Yeah, he putting in work, bro. He putting in work. Yeah, he putting in that work. I like it. I like it. And that's one thing I like about him. He's not a talker. He's just not a talker, man. He's not a talker. He's not worried about what anybody says and all of those things. He's not worried about those things, man. He's just here to go to work, man. He's just here to go to work. That's all he's here to do. So I love his work ethic. I absolutely do. All right, let's get to this topic real quick. The rest of these are going to be quick topics, I believe. But I want to look at these NFC grades. Has anybody seen the grade that ESPN gave the Cowboys? I've already seen some of your grades. Have whatever grade you want to. I want to read the grades that ESPN has. Let's see what ESPN said about the Cowboys. Let's look at the grades. Let's look at the grades on the Dallas Cowboys. ESPN grades the Dallas Cowboys offseason. So before I go to the Dallas Cowboys, because they've actually graded every single team, I want to go to what did they give each team in the NFC. So what I'm going to do first is I want to jump to these teams. I want to jump to these teams.
Here we go.
Let's quickly look at Philly. Let's see what they gave Philly. What did they give Philly? Let's change this up a little bit. Let's see what they gave Philly. Philadelphia Eagles. Wow. Gave the Philadelphia Eagles an A. Wow. Biggest move the Philadelphia Eagles made, they said, is trading A.J. Brown. Move that they like, cornerback Rick Woolen. Move they dislike, extending defensive tackle Jordan Davis. You didn't dislike it too much. You gave him an A. You gave him an A. It says, as is often the case, the Eagles general manager Howie Roseman was busy in the trade market this offseason. That meant the longer-awaited and finally consummated Brown deal to the Patriots, netting Philadelphia a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. Losing Brown is a short-term knock, but it came clear his time as an Eagle was up, and Philadelphia was able to flip him for a first-round selection, which comes with years of expected value before Brown's decline really set in. Says the Eagles prepared for the loss of Brown by trading fifth and sixth round picks for Dontavion Wicks and selecting Mekhi Lemon in the first round of the draft. I particularly like Wicks' acquisition. The former Packer has a 69 upper score over the past 3 seasons, well above average, and perhaps has not fully realized his upside. Also, it says the Eagles made another critical acquisition. I was a fan of trading for Jonathan Grenard. High-end veterans become so inflated on the trade market lately that I rarely believe the acquiring team is in the winner in deals like this, but Grenard trade was an exception. The Eagles land a player whose sack production was down, only 3 sacks down from 12 last season, but who consistently wins on a down-to-down basis. His 23.3% pass rush win rate at edge would have ranked 4th had he qualified. He feels a need after the Philadelphia Eagles lost Jalen Phillips in free agency, which will likely net them a 3rd-round compensatory pick next year per over the cap. So this is what they got here. The Eagles had one of my favorite free agent signings of the offseason, nabbing Woolen for 1 year, $12 million. Woolen is not considered among the game's best corners despite metrics that suggested elite level play. Over the past 4 seasons, Woolen ranks first among all cornerbacks with at least 500 coverage snaps in air yards allowed per coverage snap, just ahead of new teammate Quinyon Mitchell and Pat Surtain II. My lone critique was the 3-year, $78 million extension for Davis, which was a bit rich for a nose tackle. David is a good player against the run, but I need more pass rush to justify that type of contract. All right, so they gave the Philadelphia Eagles a name. This is why I want to look at what they gave the rest of the NFC. They gave the Eagles a name. I'm pretty sure you already know what they gave the Cowboys. But just for giggles, let's look at what they gave the New York Football Giants. Wow. Gave the New York Giants a B+? What? New York Giants, biggest move, hiring John Harbaugh's coach. Move they like, Dexter Lawrence II. Move they dislike, Trayvon Edmonds signing. Says nothing was more significant than the Giants successfully landing Harbaugh. He should be a stabilizing force given his long track record of success in Baltimore, and he rightfully gives fans hope in the franchise new direction. But in terms of players, the biggest decision the Giants made was to trade Lawrence to the Bengals for the number 10 pick. That was a huge win, as much as I and probably the Giants like Lawrence as a player. He was coming off a down season, and the value of the number 10 pick was simply a much better return than the veteran defensive tackle is likely worth. Thanks to the trade, the Giants had two top 10 picks in the draft. They had linebacker edge rusher Orville Reese, who surprisingly fell to number 5. Offensive tackle France Mawigoa at number 10. Those 2 young players can be foundation of the Giants' new core if they play well. New York also made a poor value trade in moving up to get receiver Malachi Fields on day 2. In free agency, the Giants lost Wan'Dale Robinson following his breakout 2025 campaign, leaving weakness at the position, especially with Malik Neighbors uncertain to be back by week 1. Got a strange feeling he's not going to be back. The team re-signed Jermaine Eluemunor to keep consistency at the right tackle and brought in defensive tackle DJ Reader. Cornerback Greg Newsome II and Edmonds, the last of whom was an overpay after 3 years, $36 million. Adding Reese gives the Giants a surplus at edge, which should make Kayvon Thibodeau available for trade. We'll see how that goes July the 15th. They haven't found a deal for him yet, but that doesn't mean they won't before the start of the season. Nothing will affect the Giants' win total in the short term more than second-year quarterback Jackson Dart development. This offseason was more about setting up a foundation for medium to long term. I agree. The Giants, I don't see anything happening for them this coming year. I think it's going to be a very trying year for the Giants. I really do. I think it's going to be a very trying year. Very trying year. But again, gave the New York Giants a B+. All right? Gave the Giants a B+. All right, let's see what they gave the Washington Commanders. So we got an A for the Eagles, B+ for the New York Football Giants. What they give the Washington Commanders? Oh, they gave them a C+. Says here, biggest move, signing edge Odafe Owe. Move they like, signing safety Nick Cross. Moves I dislike, firing offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. I do think he got a raw deal. Says Washington opened this offseason by firing Cliff Kingsbury and defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. The former dismissal was a curious choice. Although the Commanders massively disappointed by going 5-12 in 2025, the defense was the biggest culprit, ranking 30th in EPA per play. Since, of course, quarterback Jaden Daniels' injuries didn't help, nor did his late down efficiency crashing back to earth after a banner 2024, but the fact that the Commanders were middle of the pack in offensive EPA per play without Daniels for half the season and were actually more efficient without him is a testament to the offensive coaching. If anyone should have been on the hot seat after 2025, I think it should have been head coach Dan Quinn, which I'm now hearing that Dan Quinn is on the hot seat. As far as personnel, the Commanders made moves to address their older, underperforming defense, headlined by signing Akoye to a 4-year, $96 million contract. That looks and seems expensive on the surface, but Akoye is better than he is given credit for. His 16.7% pass rush win rate at edge last season between the Ravens and the Chargers ranked 10th best at the position. Washington also added Kalavon Kyson on a 1-year deal after his solid 2025 season with the Patriots. The Commanders brought in other middle-class free agent defenders in Cross, cornerback Amik Robinson, and linebacker Leo Cannell. They also selected linebacker Sonny Styles with a number 7 pick in the draft. Offensively, they signed offensive tackle Laremy Tunsil to an extension and made a smart move by re-signing backup quarterback Marcus Mariota. But the Commanders have done more as they questionably released center Tyler Biadasz, who immediately got a raise by signing with the Chargers, and questions remain with their pass catchers. Washington still led by receiver Terry McLaurin, though he's no longer a sure thing given his 2025 season and age, 31 in September. The Commanders signed tight end Chig Okonkwo in free agency and added wide receiver Antonio Williams in the 3rd round of the draft, but I wanted to see more done in this area. They weren't amazing options in free agency, but the Commanders have money to spend. As of this writing, they rank 3rd and 8th in 2026 and 2027 cap space per over the cap. So, Washington Commanders, they were able to pull out a C+. So I don't know if y'all seen this or not. Let's see where this puts the Dallas Cowboys. In case you didn't see the thumbnail, that actually wasn't my grade on the thumbnail. That was actually ESPN's grade for the Dallas Cowboys. And let's read what they said about our beloved Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. It says keeping wide receiver George Pickens on the franchise tag. That was the biggest move. And the only franchise tag. Was that really the Cowboys' biggest move? I think Caleb Downs was the Dallas Cowboys' biggest move. What do y'all think? I think Caleb Downs was the Cowboys' biggest move. Move I liked, keeping Pickens on the franchise tag. I know Cowboy fans don't like that. Move I dislike, trading defensive tackle Oso Odigizua. Says the ripple effects of the Dallas Cowboys' decision to trade Micah Parsons ahead of the 2025 season were still being felt this offseason. That was most apparent when the Cowboys were among teams vying for Max Crosby. They didn't get the Pro Bowl edge rusher who landed back in Las Vegas, but losing Parsons was also likely a factor in the Cowboys' decision to trade a 4th-round pick for edge rusher Rashan Gary, an overpay considering Gary is a vastly diminished relative to his pre-torn ACL and still will make $16 million per year. Wow. The Cowboys overpaid for Rashan Gary? Man, I'm struggling with that one. They overpaid for Rashan Gary? Says the Parsons effect was also felt at defensive tackle. The Cowboys had used some of their extra draft capital from the deal to trade for Quentin Williams in midseason, creating a bit of a surplus at interior lineman with Kenny Clark and Oso Odigizua. Dallas' solution was to trade Oso Odigizua to San Francisco for a 3rd-round pick. The Cowboys chose the wrong D-tackle to deal, as Oso Odigizua is younger and makes less than Clark, plus is arguably better than the veteran at this stage of their respective careers. The Cowboys would have gotten less draft capital for Clark, but I don't think they fared particularly well with the Oso Odigizua deal and wonder if they didn't trade Clark, who was part of the Parsons deal, due to optics. I'm disagreeing with this notion right here. I don't think Oso Digizua is better than Kenny Clark. And I'm actually trusting the Dallas Cowboys on this. I believe that Christian Parker and these guys, I think they looked at what role that Oso Digizua was going to play in this defense, and they said, we're not paying him to do what he's going to do in this system. I mean, for everything that everybody says, yeah, man, trust the system and blah, 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 I don't think it was just money when it came to Oso Digizua. I don't. I know people say it is. I don't think it was just money on Oso Digizua. I don't think it was a bad deal to keep Kenny Clark over Oso Digizua. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I ain't gonna argue with that one. But I'm disagreeing with that one. It says Dallas's other major decision was related to Pickens after the wide receiver's exceptional 2025 season. The Cowboys applied the franchise tag, but said they wouldn't negotiate a long-term deal with him. This was the right move. Handing him a new contract right now would be paying Pickens at the peak of his worth, and I can't help but think about Pickens falling out of favor in Pittsburgh, even with Mike Tomlin there, and wonder if there's a risk of that happening in Dallas too. Considering that, I don't see a great reason for Dallas to commit long-term before it has to, and it doesn't have to right now. Now, this is where I'm telling you that this is crazy. You telling me that the Cowboys shouldn't have traded Oso Digizua, but they should have George Pickens on a franchise tag? I'm just disagreeing with that all the way. I'm just disagreeing with that. I would actually rather have George Pickens on a long-term deal. That's me. That's just me. I'd rather have him on a long-term deal. I would rather have him on a long-term deal. And I didn't really blink when the Cowboys got rid of Oso Digizua. I just don't think somewhere in there, I just don't think he was going to fit in. It says the Cowboys made a change of defense coordinator after finishing last in defensive EPA per play last season. They replaced Matt Eberflus with Christian Parker, who was the Eagles' defensive passing game coordinator and secondary coach. Now, notice what they're doing. The reason why some of our grades may be higher is because we look at Christian Parker as being a major pickup for the Cowboys. They are really not saying that Christian Parker is a big deal. They're not. They just say that that's who they replaced him with. Not only are they not saying that Christian Parker is a big deal, but they're also ignoring the value of one BT Jordan. They don't see that as an asset. I can see why they're giving the Cowboys a C+. I can see why they're giving the Cowboys a C+, even though they're giving the Giants a B+ for bringing in John Harbaugh. But we don't think Christian Parker is going to impact the Cowboys. I get it. It says Dallas added safety Caleb Downs and edge rusher Malachi Lawrence in the first round of the draft, signed free agent Jalen Thompson, and traded for linebacker D. Winters. So I guess we're just poo-pooing Caleb Downs, poo-pooing Malachi Lawrence, and poo-pooing Jalen Thompson. Notice how they just talked about those deals. Okay, like as a matter of fact, this is what they did. And traded for linebacker D. Winters. I guess he's no big factor. If the coordinator change and personnel reinforcements can't make Dallas' defense roughly average while the offense maintains its torrid 2025 production, the Cowboys can quickly become a contender. C+? Wow. Wow, that's all I can tell you. C+. Don't think that's good enough. But who am I? This is their opinion. I'm not going to argue with it. Don't agree with it. I think the Cowboys have done some great things. I'm not seeing a C+. I would see more of a B- for the Cowboys, maybe, until we see it on the field. And again, let's just think about this. This is preliminary. We got to see it on the field. And this is why I keep telling us, two things. We can do two things at once. We can say what the Cowboys are going to do. Doesn't mean they're going to do it. We can say what the Cowboys are not going to do. It doesn't mean they're not going to do it. At the end of the day, we can say, though, that the Cowboys have taken the steps to actually be better on the field. And that's the thing that I keep saying I appreciate about the Dallas Cowboys. And in my prognostication of the Cowboys Super Bowl, doesn't mean they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that based on hopium as people say, Hopi Young. I'm basing that on a simple biblical principle. I'm seeing the evidence of the Cowboys doing the things it takes to get to a Super Bowl. And that's what I keep saying I'm impressed with. And you can tell even by this article, man, you gotta really understand how people write things about the Dallas Cowboys. People write things about the Dallas Cowboys in a certain way. And the reason why they write things in a certain way about the Dallas Cowboys, because you don't think they realize that when they give the Dallas Cowboys a C+, that this isn't going to draw attention to this article? This is going to draw attention to this article. Anytime you are saying something about the Cowboys, people are taking notice. And they know people are going to take notice on this. And so basically, the reason why they wouldn't give the Cowboys anything high, because that would basically play into a lot of what everybody else has already played into. Because a lot of people think the Cowboys are going to be fantastic this season. And so you get people now for sure. Hey, everybody think the Cowboys are going to be better. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, nah, the Cowboys really ain't going to be that better. Cowboys didn't do this. They didn't do that. Whatever the case may be. These things draw attention because the Cowboys have always drawn attention no matter what transpires. But again, it don't matter what I say. It don't matter what anyone says. Nothing is going to change as far as what we're saying, what the Cowboys are going to do. We're going to see. It's not even an opinion. It's a fact. The Cowboys are doing things to be better. That's the part that people have to understand that can't be denied. Christian Parker, B.T. Jordan. Also, B.T. Jordan, Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, Caleb Downs, Malachi Lawrence, Jayshon Barrow. And I still think people are sleeping on Jalen Thompson, Rashan Gary, Kobe Durant. When you look at all of these moves the Cowboys have made, these are moves that will contribute to the Cowboys winning. And I think it'll contribute to them winning sooner than later. I'm not telling you the Cowboys are going 17-0. There will be, I believe, a few growing pains. But I think they'll get it together quicker than they have in the past. Brandon Cup said, gee, you talking about the C is what they want. It's likely a negativity poll and the C is the bait. Wait on us to bite. Book it. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. No doubt. They know these types of things. It's going to draw a lot of attention from us people who love the Dallas Cowboys. We know it's going to draw attention, so it's all good. It's all good. All right, let's get a couple of quick hits here. In here. Let me show you something here. Is Dak Prescott clutch? This was I think it was a question that was posed. I think this was a question that was posed today. The question actually wasn't posed. I think what happened is that somebody showed something, a stat about Dak Prescott. And I think about Dak Prescott being clutch last season. So, Pro Football Focus has reported over here. Dak Prescott, highest graded quarterbacks in the clutch last season. Now, let me take this back full circle. I don't know if y'all remember, but Brian Schottenheimer said that Dak Prescott is going to play elite level football and that Dak Prescott is going to win. And what we are watching once again, the Cowboys are doing things that people are not understanding. Dak Prescott has put up numbers before, but I will say this about Dak Prescott last season. What we did see with Dak Prescott is better efficiency. I think we saw the beginning of Dak Prescott being more efficient. And I think the more Brian Schottenheimer does things on this offense, I think Dak Prescott is going to continue to become even more efficient. That they are going to be more quality over quantity. They're going to go down the field. They're going to do big plays. They'll even throw in some trick plays. They're going to do some motion and all of these things. But they're going to run that 11 personnel. And they're going to continue to eat off that 11 personnel. And they're going to let that 11 personnel with these wide receivers, these tight ends set up the run. And when that run works, they're going to go play action and they're going to take their shots. I'm still wanting Dak Prescott to only throw 25 times a game. I said it last year. I'm saying it again. That is my maximum for Dak Prescott because this is all going to lead up to more efficiency. Dak Prescott is going to roll out of bed and probably do 4,000 yards. I'm not sure he's going to go for 5,000, but I know he will roll out of bed and get 4,000 plus yards. And the biggest thing with Dak Prescott, and I love about this stat, that's a stat of efficiency. That's efficiency. And the thing that's crazy, when you think about the failures in the red zone, when you think about the penalties that stop drives, when you think about even stalled drives once they got past the 50, we still have not gotten the full potential out of what this offense can be. And I'm sure the Dallas Cowboys and Brian Schottenheimer, they've already been talking about this. This offense can be better. Dak can be better. Yes, he can be better. Absolutely. He can be better. Osama, let me change what you said. No, Osama, this is the conversation we got to stop having. Now, Dak doesn't have to beat the Niners when it counts. The Cowboys have to beat the Niners when it counts. Because I got news for you, Osama. Brock Purdy ain't beating the Dallas Cowboys. It's been the 49ers that have beat the Cowboys. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't beating the Cowboys. It's the 49ers that have been beating the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the San Francisco 49ers literally have one of the... Kyle Shanahan is a top 5 offensive coordinator in the game. He's top 5. Kyle Shanahan has been willing the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl. What's been letting down Kyle Shanahan is his quarterbacks. Yes, it's been his quarterbacks. Last year, what failed Kyle Shanahan was they were just decimated with injuries on defense and on offense. But Kyle Shanahan's biggest failure is winning a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan takes that team as far as he can take them. Yeah, teams win Super Bowls. Teams win Super Bowls. They need better teams. Dak Prescott needs better teams. Dak Prescott is going to win a Super Bowl because the Cowboys have a better team. That's what's going to happen. That's what Shotty is doing. Shotty is saying, I know how to win a Super Bowl. You got to build the best culture in football. And if you build the best culture in football, you're going to have one of the best teams in football. You absolutely going to have one of the best teams in football. All right, let's hit these last two, and then we're going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. So Mina Kimes is huge. Mina Kimes is huge on Caleb Downs. Miss Matrix in the building. What's going on? She said it's not the quarterback. Clearly doesn't matter which one they drop in. Niners got us beat. Yeah, see, that's the issue. Kyle Shanahan, one of the things they do, they put together really good teams that fit their system. Shoot, if Kyle Shanahan, let me tell you something. If Kyle Shanahan had Dak Prescott and some of the teams they've had, I guarantee you, Kyle Shanahan with Dak Prescott would have already won 2 Super Bowls. I guarantee you. With the defenses that have been on the other side of Garoppolo and Purdy, shoot, Dak Prescott winning Super Bowls with them joints. He winning Super Bowls with them joints. Man, they've had some defenses in San Francisco. Consistently. Yeah, Dak winning Super Bowls with them joints. Guaranteed. All right, let's get these last 2 stories out of the way, then I'm gonna let y'all have it tonight. So we got another. You know what? I forgot to put this on here. Let's get this on here as a quick hit. There is a story floating around about Terrion Arnold, y'all. There is a story floating around about Terrion Arnold. As a matter of fact, I'll give you the long version of it tomorrow. But Terrion Arnold, who has been released officially by the Detroit Lions on Wednesday, because Terrion Arnold was released, the state wants him to have an ankle monitor on his leg. But his defense told the judge that there are 3 teams that have already contacted Terrion Arnold about being on the team. I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow. But Terrion Arnold, and I really want to see what happens, because I wonder if the judge is going to ask his defense, can you show me paperwork or show me evidence that there are 3 teams that have contacted you and that he will be on somebody's team real soon? Because if he can't produce that information, then I'm sure he's going to get that ankle monitor, because that's what they're trying to avoid. So we're going to see how this story is going to turn out. But I'm telling y'all right now, I started talking about this Terrion Arnold story before anybody did. And Bass, I'm telling you, I kind of agree with you, Bass. I don't think the Cowboys are going for Terrion Arnold. But I tell you this, inquiring minds want to know. I want to know who those 3 teams are, because I want to know if one of them is the Dallas Cowboys. I want to know, Bass. What about you? I want to know. I want to know if one of these teams is the Dallas Cowboys. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm thinking about this different than a lot of people. Based on what this judge is doing and how he's moving, I think there are going to be some charges against Terrion Arnold. But I don't think it's going to be 4 felonies. I don't think it's going to be 4 felonies. I wouldn't be surprised if this is pled down to a no contest misdemeanor or something. I will not be surprised. But what I will not be surprised with is that he don't get jail time. And if he gets jail time, I don't think it'll be long. I don't think it'll be long. And I think if teams get a whiff of it's not going to be long, I got a feeling that these teams, somebody's going to take a chance on this kid. He has no history of bad behavior. He has no character issues. He did make a dumb decision. He has no character issues. Nick Saban, and you got to ask yourself, why did Nick Saban vouch for him? Why would Nick Saban vouch for him unless Nick Saban kind of knows that there may be a way this kid is going to get off? We're going to see how all this turns out, man. But I got a strange feeling, man. This kid is not going to get the jail time. Bass said he got off. He said if Buddy get off on a hand slap, he's brown. Hey, man, let me tell you something. Bass, I don't know about, man, let me tell you, you 33. You younger than me. I'm going to tell you something, Bass. Relationships matter, brother. Relationships matter, brother. Bass, let me tell you something. People can tell me anything they want to about racism. But when you have the right relationship with people, I don't care if they're plaid, pink, or green. There will be people who don't share the same skin color. They will vouch for you. And when people vouch for you, it ain't based on color. When people vouch for you and their word carries weight, bro, I'm telling you something because I've been in the system. And the reason why I'm no longer in the system as a black man, I'm no longer in the system because a white man, a white woman vouched for me. Yeah, a white woman vouched for me. Man, relationships matter. Man, when people like this, man, when Nick Saban from Alabama come out and start talking on your behalf, shoot, man, let me tell you something. All that, I don't know, I guess we saying because he's black or whatever case may be. Shoot, all that race stuff go out the window, man. Man, relationships will go past race, color, and creed. Shoot, I lived it and have lived it multiple times. I've lived it multiple times. Shoot, relationships matter, man. Shoot, Miss Matrix said relationships are everything. Tell him, Miss Matrix. Doesn't matter how well you do something. If no one is buying in, might as well not be good at it. Shoot, you gonna have to work even harder. But when you got relationships, shoot, man, boy, Bass, man, I got a feeling, bro. Man, I got a feeling this dude ain't gonna get what people think. People wrote this dude off. Man, I ain't write this dude off. But again, Bass, we gonna wait and see. Because I want to see if Jerry Jones' name come up in this thing. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see if Jerry Jones' name come up in this joint. Osama, I'm sorry to tell you, my brother. I'm sorry to tell you. Brandon Ayuk is burning the bridge on every relationship he could possibly have right now. Brandon Ayuk out here doing the dum-dum, bruh. Man, somebody need to counsel Brandon Ayuk and tell this man to shut up and sit down somewhere. Man, this dude, Brandon Ayuk, is doing the dum-dum out here. Marcus Buncherio, he said, me and you were just talking about this on X today. Yeah, oh, I see you, Mac Main. Hey, Marcus Buncherio, hey, bro. Me and you in the same boat, Mac Main. I don't think this dude finna get what people think. I think people done wrote this dude off too quick. Man, I've been seeing the way this dude is smiling in some of these photos, man. I think this man's lawyer done gave him some good news. I think this man's lawyer done gave him some good news. I'm just trying to tell you. All right, man, let's hit this other, these last two. I want to let you hear Mina Kimes. I want to let you hear Mina Kimes talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going to tell you this. Somebody I saw said Mina Kimes is a big Dallas Cowboy fan. I don't know. I'm going to tell you this. I know who Mina Kimes is a big fan of. Mina Kimes is a humongous fan of Caleb Downs. Let me see here. I thought I had it on today's notes. Man, Mina Kimes, man. Let me tell you something. Poor Mina Kimes is in love with Caleb Downs. I mean, it's literally mind-blowing to me. Man, I keep seeing this stuff that Mina Kimes is saying about Caleb Downs, and I'm just like, man, shoot, she pumping up. Mina Kimes is pumping up Caleb Downs.
How about this? If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But a great article over on ESPN.com.
Yeah, they talking about it. Mina Kimes is talking about Caleb Downs. Check this out.
Looking at some of the progress each of the first-round picks made in the spring. So we're going to begin in New Orleans, where Catherine Terrell wrote this about 8th overall pick Jordan Tyson. The Saints have been cautious with Tyson after he spent the lead up to April's draft rehabbing injuries sustained during college. So there hasn't been much to see on the field yet, but Tyson's teammates have spoken highly about what they've seen from him so far, with quarterback Tyler Shuck raving about him. He's jumped in even in these walkthroughs. He hasn't messed a play up, missed a beat. Mina, what do you expect to see from Tyson on that Saints offense?
Don't worry, I'm finna skip right to the Cowboys,
I'm excited
guys.
about the fit with Chris Olave.
Don't
I'm
y'all
also
worry.
really excited about the fit.
On styles. There's not really a lot of fast, right? That 4.46 speed. He's going to be a big ceiling raiser there in Washington.
As great as he is talent-wise, on and off the field, he won over coaches' progress, writing he's next, where Todd Archer weighed in on Caleb Downs' progress, writing he's won over veterans with his work on and off the field. He won over coaches with how quickly he's picked up things. He has played in the slot, where he'll likely get most of his snaps, as well as each safety spot. He's a worker. He looks for coaching. He craves that. He wants to be corrected. He wants more information, defensive coordinator Christian Parker said. You love that. That sounds like a coach's dream, right? Jeremy, what are you hearing about how Downs and his potential will be used this fall?
Yeah, Laura, since he is such a quick study, he can play multiple spots, either in a nickel safety format or being in the slot as a corner, but they want to be careful with that. I'm told they want to play to his strengths, which is vision and instinct. That's where he's at his best. So they want to get him in space and help him go attack the ball downhill. But he's going to play a lot. He's going to play early. Dallas is not quite a finished product defensively.
Right.
They feel like they're good at safety in some other spots. They've been looking for a linebacker for a long time, so it could be one to watch leading up to training camp. Jordan Brooks out of Miami, high-profile player that they've at least kicked the tires on, although I don't think the Dolphins want to trade him.
Mina.
Sorry, that got me going.
ahead.
Yeah, Caleb Downs. Yeah, just that would be such a good fit for them. Caleb Downs, he's kind of on paper the answer to what every defense is looking for right now in terms of the ability to stop the run without putting an extra linebacker on the field, right? You think about in Seattle, Nicky Manwari. In Philadelphia, his old team, Cooper DeJean, both nickels who are exceptional against the run and allow those teams to live in their sub packages and keeping those guys on the field where they can also defend tight ends and sometimes slot receivers in coverage. Caleb Downs can do all of those things. However, the difference between Dallas and those two defenses is weakness at the linebacker position, which Jeremy alluded to, and then I would say the cornerbacks are a little bit less trustworthy and you can't leave them on islands in the same way. But I am very optimistic about Downs as primarily the nickel, probably playing safety and base. And to me, the start of something with Christian Parker, him as that foundational piece is really promising.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are over here like Dallas is going to have the best defense in the NFL next season. But Ben, is a moderate improvement on the defensive side of the ball enough to make the Cowboys contenders considering how good we think their offense will be?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've seen.
See, this is what I want us to key in on. Everybody knows the strength of this team is the offense. And everybody knows if you just look at the Dallas Cowboys last season, I believe and others believe that if the Cowboys would have had an average defense last year, we probably win 3 games at least. We're at least 3-6-1 last year, and we'll look at it in just a moment after this. Everybody is of the same opinion based on last year because a lot of us believe, and they believe, the Cowboys offense still got room to improve, and it'll be even better this coming year. And so what people are truly relying on is the strength, which is the offense, and can Christian Parker just get it to be average? They're not even saying that the Cowboys need to be top 15. They're saying average. Can Christian Parker get them to 20? Can he get them to 20? And Bass, they doubt the defense, but again, I think the Cowboys put some players on there. Again, Rashan Gary, D. Winters, Kobe Durant, and I still think people are underestimating Jalen Thompson. The Cowboys made some serious moves on that defense. And again, I know some of y'all say y'all are worried about the cornerback position. I'm more worried about Deron Bland than I am the cornerback position. I want to see what Savon Revel Jr. is and Kobe Durant is when we go against the Rams and when we go against the Saints in the Oxnard, California scrimmages before I get worried. See, I'm not worried yet. I want to see what these young guys have. And Bass, I got a feeling the Cowboys are going to see what they are too. And I think they're going to bring in somebody if they need to. And again, Bass, this is why I'm telling you. I'm anxious to watch this thing on Monday when this lawyer talks about these 3 teams. Because I want to hear, I'm listening for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm listening for the Dallas Cowboys. Excuse me, I'm listening for the Dallas Cowboys. I got a feeling that Terrion Arnold, Marcus Moncherio, I got a feeling that Terrion Arnold is playing for somebody this year. And once this man clears waivers on Monday, I'm very interested in who's going to go after him. And I'm sure whoever goes after him, they're going to do their due diligence. They're going to do their due diligence. And Terrion, man, I'll tell you. Niecy said Cowboys can't sleep on the Giants. We're going to see. I think they got some issues to work out. They brought in Odell Beckham Jr. And people are saying that Malik Neighbors got some serious stuff going on. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about old John Harbaugh. But again, we'll see what these Cowboys are in Oxnard, California. And I don't think they're going to hesitate. If they see some issues at cornerback, I think they're going to make some moves. And better be careful, shoot. Terrion Arnold will be over here in Dallas. We're going to see. I'm skeptical, Bass. I'm skeptical. I'm like, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to do it. I don't know if the Cowboys are going to do it. And I'm very interested in those three teams. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me read this again. Nisa, you saying the Cowboys can't sleep on the Giants as a team? Or are you saying the Cowboys can't sleep on the Giants as it applies to Terrion Arnold? Answer me that. Are you talking about Terrion Arnold? All right.
Top 5 offense plus average defense be a viable approach to the Super Bowl in the last 10 or so years of football. What wasn't last year, right? Seahawks kind of zagged everybody else's eggs, but you can be an elite offense. And Dallas was 8th in DVOA, 5th in points per drive. They lost nobody in the offseason. George Pickens is coming back. They can put 30, 35 on you. If that defense can just get a couple of stops, they were 30th in turnovers per drive. Get lucky. Do the Bears thing from last season. Just get some picks, force some fumbles, create enough positive plays that your offense drives the ship and you carry your own weight. So to me, linebacker, schminebacker. All right, we ain't worried about it. Caleb Downs is going to be an impactful playmaker. DeMarvion Overshown's coming back from injury. He was really impactful in 2024. There's enough pieces here that I believe in Christian Parker, playing that too high shell, putting an umbrella on opposing offenses, and just keeping the defense afloat such that we can get to a big postseason run.
Yeah, and I think for all the focus on Downs, rightfully so, first-round draft pick, the Cowboys did add a lot of capable veterans elsewhere.
See, this is the issue. And I know this is where a lot of us are. And I'm with you on it. I'm telling you it's okay to do what I've been doing. We're just not used to anybody doing it. I'm telling you, based on what I'm watching the Cowboys do, not what they've done, based on what they're doing, I see the evidence of a championship team. But at the same time, we still got to see it on the field. Still got to see it on the field. We got to see what it all develops into. But I'm actually banking on what I'm seeing, not on what I've seen. I am watching this team do all of the right things, and they have proved to all of us that coaching matters. And that coaching this year is going to be the biggest impact on this team. Players, yes, I'm cool. I know we would love to have a couple of more players. But those players wouldn't mean nothing if you didn't have the coaches in place. And I believe they have the coaches in place. They believe they have the coaches in place. And they're going to be way more effective this year because of coaching. That is really the theme of this season. I told y'all last year, the theme was the first round draft picks. The theme this year is coaching. It's coaching. And that's why I'm so optimistic about the coaching. If they buy into this system and they do what they're supposed to do, and again, Mina Kimes, I've already pointed this out. Mina Kimes is making a great point. No, the Cowboys have actually added some very good pieces. They've actually added some good pieces. They've added pieces that are good enough to win. They've absolutely done it on defense. The only thing we are waiting on is to see this on the field. That's all we're waiting on. This is all we're waiting on. And I still say people are sleeping on what these Cowboys have done. I mean, this is actually incredible when you think about what the Cowboys have done. Not only went and got these players, Cowboys fans, they went and got the coaches to coach these players. Otito Ogbonnia. You already got Kenny Clark. You already got Quentin Williams. You already got Rashan Gary. You got Rashan Gary, D. Winters, DeMarvion Overshown, first healthy since coming out of college. First healthy offseason. Looks like he's going to be healthy. Let's pray he stays healthy the whole season. Donovan Ezeraku coming off an injury, but year 2, look like he can make a big jump. Deron Bland, we got to see if he got some new shoes. But again, we got Jalen Thompson, Malik Hooker, Kobe Durant, and I still say Jalen Thompson is one of the biggest acquisitions that we got. Kobe Durant, big acquisition, and we're not giving this young man enough credit. Caleb Downs, Huge acquisition. Look at the depth. LT Overton, Jay Toye, we'll see what he turns out to be. Jonathan Bullard, Malachi Lawrence, Jayshawn Barham. Malachi Lawrence and Jayshawn Barham are not going to be on the bench all year. They will be contributors. James Houston, sneaky good. Devin Moore, excited. Marquise Bell, we'll see. PJ Locke will get on that field. Savon Revel Jr., looking really good. The Dallas Cowboys, man, they got players. They got players, man. They got players. They got rookies that are going to contribute. They got a system that fits the players. I'm telling you, I am confident not only in the players they picked up, but what I'm most impressed with, again, it's the coaches they got for the players. Book it. The Dallas will get to the quarterback more this season. BT Jordan gets results. They're going to get sacks on this team. I expect every player on this team that's involved in the pass rush to at least get one more sack than they got last year. This team is going to compete. You watch what I tell you, man. They're going to compete. Yeah, Bass, them first round picks, they're not sitting. They're not sitting. They're going to compete. You watch what I tell you. They're going to compete. And we got the evidence because we got players with a different mentality. We got players who are hungry. And we got coaches that are hungry. This is going to turn out. This team gets a Super Bowl either this year or next. They will compete for a Super Bowl. They will be competing for the Super Bowl for the next 2 years, maybe even 3 if you keep playing. This team, man, they can just keep building on what they have. This team will be so good. You know, we're thinking about this year. How much better would this team be next year? When you think about some of the players that are on this team, some of these rookies, and then they'll be in their second year. Oh my gosh, this team is poised to compete for the next 2 to 3 seasons. They're getting a bowl game. They're getting a bowl game. Book it. That don't mean that they are. Don't mean that they are. All I'm telling you is based on what they're doing. It's going to lead to something. And it won't be 7 and 9 seasons. It won't be 7 and 10 seasons. I'm telling you it won't. This team is going to compete, and this team has better players than people understand. I know where a lot of us are. Oh, we got to see it on the field. Don't you worry, you're going to see it. And when you see it, don't just think these players are good. The coaching and the system. The coaching and the system is going to do it for us.
Kobe Durant from the Rams. He's a capable cover corner. Jalen Thompson is a decent safety. And up front, I don't think this pass rush is lighting the world on fire, but Rashan Gary certainly will help against the run, too, and we'll see what they get out of Malachi Lawrence. If you were to add Jordan Brooks, just to go back to what Jeremy said,
there it
that
is.
Second level,
yes,
that's where I start thinking less about can this defense be average or below average, and more can this be a top 10 to 12-ish defense? Because I do think with that sort of linebacker improvement, that could be in the cards with all of the other additions that they've made.
Yeah, I mean, how realistic is this Jordan Brooks thing? Now I'm like salivating at that prospect as well.
Well, in an ideal world, Miami would like to sign him to a contract extension because they have a couple players that they consider pieces. They signed some of them like running back Devon Chain. So they feel like they're in transition, but they have a few players.
All right, we had echo on that part. Let's go back. Y'all, we need to hear that part about Jordan Brooks.
Cover corner. Jalen Thompson is a decent safety, and rightfully so, first-round draft pick. The Cowboys did add a lot of capable veterans elsewhere. Kobe Durant from the Rams is a capable cover corner. Jalen Thompson is a decent safety, and up front, I don't think this pass rush is lighting the world on fire, but Rashan Gary certainly will help against the run, too, and we'll see what they get out of Malachi Lawrence. If you were to add Jordan Brooks, just to go back to what Jeremy said, to that second level.
Yeah.
We got to circle the block one more time on Jordan Brooks. We got to circle the block one more time. A lot of people were mad about Myles Garrett. I'm not mad about Myles Garrett. But I'll tell you the player I've been saying I want them to get. I think Myles Garrett was a dream. But I think Jordan Brooks is a possibility. I'm really holding out hope that the Cowboys go get Jordan Brooks. I think he really solidifies that defense. I really do. I think he solidifies it to the point that Rashan Gary will eat. I think he'll eat. I do. Oh, Bass. Man, only thing about Crosby, boy, we going to see. I think Crosby going to come up again, too. I don't know if the Cowboys going to do it, but I think Crosby going to come up again for somebody.
That's where I start thinking less about can this defense be average or below average.
And I like what they did here. If you'll notice all the players they have highlighted. Let's see. Projected starters this season. Yeah. This defense, man, if this coach get this thing right early on, yeah, we're going to win.
Or can this be a top 10 to 12-ish defense? Because I do think with that sort of linebacker improvement, that could be in the cards with all of the other additions that they've made.
Yeah, I mean, how realistic is this Jordan Brooks thing? Now I'm like salivating at that prospect as well.
Well, in an ideal world, Miami would like to sign him to a contract extension because they have a couple players that they consider core pieces. They signed some of them like running back Devon Achane. So they feel like they're in transition, but they have a few players they really like. Brooks is one of them. So it would probably take a lot. But Dallas has been sort of scouring the earth all offseason for linebackers. They looked at Patrick Queen in Pittsburgh a little bit. Like they've looked at the options. It just hasn't been able to come to fruition yet. But it could be something when we get closer to training camp. Teams start to work the phones again. They're off vacation.
You get us all excited.
Back from Europe, and maybe something happens.
Yeah, the Cowboys, by the way, report to training camp on July 28th in Oxnard, California. That is 4 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah. Excited, man. Man, excited. Excited. Yeah, I didn't see Jalen Thompson. Yeah, he's there. They don't really know how the Cowboys are going to line this all up exactly, but Jalen Thompson is going to be a starter on this team. Man, this thing is going to be, this thing going to be nice, man. Malachi and Barham, you got to ask how much do we see them? That's why I'm like F 2027 picks. Oh, you're going to see them a lot. You watch what I tell you. They will be playing. Them boys playing. Bass, you think about this for a moment. I think this is how the Cowboys are going to keep some of these players fresh. I think this is exactly how they're going to keep some of these players fresh. Man, don't y'all be surprised. Don't y'all be surprised by some of these players playing. Some of these players are going to play. They're going to push for playing time. You're not sitting Malachi Lawrence on the bench. You're not doing it. Malachi Lawrence, mark my words, this man will not be on the bench. Think about it. Donovan Ezeraku coming off a hip injury. Do we think it would be in the Cowboys' best interest to have Donovan Ezeraku out there running 60 and 70 snaps? It ain't going to happen. I don't believe it's going to happen. Ezeraku, I see him splitting snaps. I see him splitting some snaps. Absolutely. Cowboys are going to be ready to go. They got a plan, man. And I think they're going to execute it. And they're going to keep a close watch on these players. And if things aren't working out in Oxnard, California, I'm confident. Nah, they're going to make the right move. I told y'all this before. Man, people can tell me anything they want to about the Cowboys saying we ain't going to put no pressure on Christian Parker. Shoot. They got Christian Parker for the accelerated program. The Dallas Cowboys got Christian Parker because they believe that he can help them win now, not later. They're not doing this Matt Eberflus stuff talking about, yeah, man, give him 1 year. Nah, Christian Parker coming here to win now. And that's why they got BT Jordan to assist him. They got him in here to win now. And I think they're gonna win now. I think they're gonna win some of them those single drive games and things of that nature. All right, let's check out our last topic for tonight. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. This is our last topic for the night. Jane Slater on the Dallas Cowboys. Let's hear what old Jane had to say. Man, y'all do know Jane. I told Jane online. I told Jane that Jane is invited to the cookout. Jane was over there on X. I just happened to be going. right. My cord done went out. I was over there on X, and I was looking at something where Eve was doing a desk concert or something. And lo and behold, guess who was over there talking about Eve at the desk concert? It was none other than James Slater. And James Slater was talking about that Eve was hitting. Man, she was talking about how good Eve was. I told James Slater she's invited to the cookout. I would love to get James Slater on the show during the season. I'm going to have to reach out to her again. I mean, I'm a little bit bigger than I was the first time I reached out to her. So I'm a little bit bigger. She says she makes her own deals, so I'm going to reach out to her again. And I would love to have James Slater on the show during the season. I'm sure y'all would too. But I would love to have James Slater. I'd love to see if we could fit her in somewhere on the show on a weekly basis. You know, now that we kind of got some of the media members starting to mix with some of us content creators. Well, one of the people that I would like to have on here for sure, one of them is James Slater. One of them is James Slater. All right. He said, G, don't do it again. Wi-Fi gonna give out one more game. I got one more topic, man. One more. All right. This is James Slater talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Good. Good rep right there. Get that arm across. Get that hand on the chest with the thumb down. That way my eyes go up. If you go here, your shoulders gonna pull back. So it's the same thing. If I'm pressed and he goes, like he starts dancing, I'm just gonna throw it. If we're just trying to just mirror with our hands behind our back the whole time, we're at their mercy. You know what I'm saying? He knows where the ball's going. You gotta use your feet, which you got good feet, but you don't wanna have to use only that. Use your weapons. Yeah. Hey, we got OPI. Bring them back. Bring them back.
Because I wish I did have all the money.
Scoop it up. Yes, sir, Cole.
If I did, I'd definitely have Slater on here.
All right, see what happens when we over-communicate right there.
That's new Cowboys DC. Christian Parker mic'd up. The Cowboys on that short list of teams that just need.
I might need to get Niecy to negotiate James Slater being on Let's Talk Cowboys. Maybe Niecy can pull it off for me.
Their defense to get back to being the middle of the road, to be dangerous. Their training camp starts coming up on July 28th, a month and a little bit of change till they get going. For more on Dallas, we'll say hello and good evening to our friend James Slater joining us now on the Insiders. Got to see the hands-on approach from Christian Parker as they'd like that defense to be a little different this time around, Jane.
Shout out to our producers for getting that on, because I think
okay,
it's
Frank
so
Lawrence,
important
I'll
for
check
the
it out
fans that are trying to
tomorrow.
get a sense of who this 34-year-old first-time DC is. I'm just going to start calling Christian Parker Professor Parker, because when you listen to some of his press conferences, you truly learn something. So that is your off-season homework, fans. Go check him out there on DallasCowboys.com. One thing he really talked about this week was that most good schemes find ways to compartmentalize word meanings for different position groups. In other words, that was his response to what's the language going to look like for this scheme. Remember, it's 4-3 multiple. That's going to be the base of it. Or 3-4 multiple. That's going to be the base of it. He says the categories you typically do by pressures or coverages or different types. He told us he's got an Excel document with weapons, NBA teams, insects. He just wants to make sure that he's got enough inventory to fit those words or whatever it might be. My point in saying all of this is it is extensive in the way that he is rebranding and reorganizing how they go about this. I love that they've bottom lined this here. They're using a pop quiz method as their teaching method. Why? Because look, there were times last year when you looked at this defense and they were freelancing a lot. I don't think because you had a lot of the guys that were injured or you had the holdout situation or hold in rather with Micah Parsons that we ever really got that roster on the same page as it related to this defense. And when you listen to Christian Parker and when you listen to the players or even guys like Darren Woodson who have been up there and sort of paid attention to what's going on this season, you get the sense that not only is he making sure they're all on the same page, but you better be ready for pop quizzes. I don't know about you, Tom, but when I would get pop quizzes, I'm not always good at thinking on my feet. Sometimes you'll see when I do these live shots, I stumble on my words. I would struggle if I was those players, but I certainly would make sure that I'm coming ready to practice.
Listen, last season was a pop quiz for the Cowboys coaching staff because, okay, training camp's wrapping up. It's late August. Now we're trading away your best player. And now we're bringing in a new nose tackle. Then in the middle of the season, we're going to trade for a middle linebacker. We're going to trade for a defensive tackle. There have been so many moving parts. They've overhauled this defense in the past 10 months. And I think it's instructive to look at the places that they added from. Rashan Gary comes over in a trade from Green Bay. D. Winters comes over in a trade from San Francisco. Most of the additions the Cowboys made through the course of this offseason came from winning programs. The only exception to that is really Jalen Thompson, the safety.
Great point. Had anybody thought about that point? Wow, Tom Pelissero just dropped a megaton bomb. Anybody thought about that point? Remember, I talked about the fact that the Cowboys this year, they didn't go get second and third chance players. They didn't go get the ligament gang. They didn't go get injured players. They didn't go get those types of players. He just made a great point. All the players the Cowboys picked up, with the exception of Jalen Thompson, guess what? They come from winning programs. Great point, Tom Pelissero. Great point. The players they picked up come from winning programs. We're going to look at that before we roll out of here.
Who came from Arizona, but he's always been a player who has had a reputation for having winning habits. They're hoping those habits turn into production, and obviously Christian Parker running that scheme is going to be a huge part of it.
Yeah, getting this defense back to where they would like it to be is something that's been around a problem for a while. You think back to that last playoff loss where the Packers put up 48 points. They'd like to do something else to get rid of that memory. James Slater with the latest on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Had anybody thought about that point? The Dallas Cowboys, they went and got players this time from winning programs. Let's look at this real quick before we roll up out of here, Cowboys fans. I think this is, man, I'm telling you, this is a great point. Let's look at this real quick. This is a great point. I'm gonna make sure I put this when I clip this off and put it on the put it up later on tomorrow morning. This is a great point. Let's go back and look at this. See if I can remember some of these players the Cowboys have gotten. And I think we'll just kind of go to the defense from this past season. Let's see here. Because the offense really didn't change, so we really didn't add anybody here. But when we go to the defense, Otito Ogbonnia, Los Angeles Chargers, winning program. Kenny Clark, Green Bay, winning program. And we're talking about just last year. Now, Quinnen, not a winning program. But let's just talk about who we got. Otito Ogbonnia, LA Chargers, winning program. Rashan Gary, Green Bay Packers, winning program. D. Winters, San Francisco, winning program. Despite being decimated with injuries, D. Winters stepped up, Mike linebacker, and they were still able to win 12 games and get to what? The second round of the playoffs? Yeah, man, people are underestimating something. This dude, D. Winters, can play. Jalen Thompson, still my favorite free agent of all the free agents. Jalen Thompson, as he said, not from a winning team, winning ways. Kobe Durant came from the Rams, winning team. Jonathan Bullard, New Orleans, not a winning team. PJ Locke, Denver Broncos, one phantom broken foot injury away from going to probably beating the Patriots and going to the Super Bowl. So when you look at these players that the Cowboys have picked up, Darion Kendrick from the Rams, winning team. When you look at these players the Cowboys have all picked up, these are not second chance players. These are players that came from winning programs. Didn't think about that. These are players from winning programs. Winning programs. We got some players, man. If Christian Parker and BT Jordan, Marcus Dixon, and the rest of these guys can get this defense to come together, we're going to be on to something. And yep, we got to see it on the field. But as I keep telling y'all, I'm not concerned about the field. I think if you get the classroom work, if you get the brain work accomplished, the field comes natural because these players have been playing football all their life. If they get the right direction, they buy into the system, because somebody said it down here in the chat. Man, the system is what I'm excited about. Christian Parker is about to bring the Dallas Cowboys into the present. He's about to bring the Dallas Cowboys into the present. Christian Parker is going to make this offense better, because we'll be going against a modern defense all throughout the season. Our offense is going to be better. And I think our defense, they will get it together sooner than later. I think they're going to be nice. D. Cuz Worley, he said top 5 run defense, man. If they do that, shoot. Woo, 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 woo. Man. I'm excited about the Cowboys, man. I am excited about the Cowboys. Y'all don't have to be. But it's going to be hard not to be being over here. It's going to be hard not to be being over here. I'm excited about the Cowboys. And I want everybody to be excited about the Cowboys. As I'm watching what this team is doing, I cannot communicate to you enough how ecstatic I am about the Dallas Cowboys. This team is on to something. And y'all stay tuned. I don't think this team is done. I'm not worried about no C+ that the ESPN is giving the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason why I'm not worried about no C+, because the Cowboys are not done. I don't think they're done. July 15th, I done told y'all already, expect anything. That's all I'm telling you. Expect anything. Expect anything from the Dallas Cowboys come July the 15th. Who knows what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do? Man, Dallas Cowboys may very well wind up making 2 or 3 more trades, bringing in another couple of players that nobody expected them to bring in. And I believe whatever they bring in, it's going to be to improve this defense. I'm telling you right now, they're focused on this defense. And if they see this defense ain't it, they're going to do whatever they have to do to make sure this defense is going to be on point. Man, I am so excited. I appreciate y'all hanging with me, rocking with me. Love all y'all. And surely y'all love me too, because y'all keep coming back. I appreciate all of you. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Best chat on YouTube. Let's talk Cowboys, we talk facts. Peace.